we should. We'll feed the fire. Let's see it through and let go of what's holding us back. Just light it up and we'll burn through the past and take it higher. Is your heart rushing the way my heart's rushing when you take it all in? Baby, this is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. You and I. Can't believe it took so long to realize. This is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. Can't believe it took so long to realize what makes us, makes us, makes us. This is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. Can't believe it took so long to realize what makes us, makes us come alive.
나의 속도가 돈이라면 벤 솜이 더 세게 괴롭혀봐 나를 rain 옴이 다가서면 뱅뱅 전부 걸어 게임처럼 너의 고개를 떨굴 때는 댄서니 모두 몸에 걸어 눈이 빛나는 걸로 전부 걸치고 난 이 노리는 것들일 거야 발밑에 쫓아와도 너는 절대 못 껴 넘어질 배포도 없는 애들은 no 따라오지 못하는 건 내 알바가 아니지 그래서 the boys not my type 아니 거리동이 틈에 판이 바뀌지 이기는 건 당연하니 cause my type 시시하게 겉으로만 판단하겠지 웃는 얼굴 어서줄게 잘 봐날 멍청한 애들이 여기 차고 넘치니 바가게 선이 목소리 내못 다 짜증나면 질러 I don't like being cool Ladies night to night girl들만 불러 money on the floor I'm a boss to be or zero 뭐든지 다 내게 cruise 말했잖아 내가 뱉는다고 내가 다시 look us Told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself
told ya 느리게만 보여 눈이 핑 돌아가는 놈들은 한 곳으로 모여 Shall we drive 머리 위로 투 그래서 이건 누가 대신에 money dance on a private jet 여긴 닿을 수 없는 거 올려놔 boss 하늘 위로 떨어지는 별을 looking like demons 자칭 나고 기는 것들은 전부 천했지 왜처럼 증오들은 나의 밑거름 끄나 좁아져도 눈의 시선은 어느새 풀려 숨죽여 Hey you better you turn when I pull up Can't slow me down 나 끝이 없는 ride 멈출 수가 없잖아 안돼 소리 망설임 없이 주사 위로 여전히 예상 못한 곳으로 향하지 like we to go
like a butterfly. I flip a switch, keep a secret, let you come inside. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me. Keep your eyes on 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 me. Anytime you clock a butterfly, you flip a switch, keep a secret, let me come inside. When you run the gamut, but you could never plan it. You keep on breathing when you're in it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me. Give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me.
Feeling good, feeling great on my time. Won't let a hater block my shine. I'm just living my life. Too busy chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Too busy chasing good vibes.
I'm feeling good, feeling great now. A hater can't play with my day now. Get that negativity out of my face now. In my city, I'm the man on my state now. Yeah, I'm living life to the fullest. Baby girl, you talking to the realest. Energy and joy, you can't steal it. Good vibes all around. Baby, tell me, can you feel it? I woke up, so I'm blessed. Just another chapter in the test. I know I'm doing better than the rest. Got a smile on my face, showing teeth for the crest. It's no sweat, I'm a vibe in my own right. Go time in the sun, yes, I'm gon' shine. So fine, got a baddie on my phone line. Feeling good, feeling great, chasing these good vibes.
Feeling good, feeling great on my time. Won't let a hater block my shine. I'm just living my life. Too busy chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Too busy chasing good vibes.
Put my soul on that beat, I'm ready to feast. Margaritas with some divas, I'm pouring the drinks. I'm living life to the fullest, the blessings in me. Don't really care what you say, whatever you think. Nah, unequivocal miracles with the lyrical. With the homies tryna pop like the cereal. Lucky Charms, got a model on my arm. Go watch on my wrist, garlic parm. No alarm, fireworks, I can feel it in the sky. I got love in my eyes, but there's money on my mind. I see passion and pride that despise all the lies. I've been around the world, so I'm down for the ride. Good drinks, good people, and good times. Fast cars, pretty women on FaceTime. More money, more fun in my life. I'm just chasing my shots with good vibes.
Feeling good, feeling great on my time. Won't let a hater block my shine. I'm just living my life. Too busy chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Chasing good vibes. Too busy chasing good vibes. Too busy chasing good vibes.
차고 있던 이건 데자부 이미 와본 걸까 내 성공을 전부 담긴 그릇이 작아 I can't lose 점수 그건 의미 없는 숫자 내 열의 top 10 거는 식당 해골로 채운 옷장 전부 대스탁 상시주의 red dot 경고는 없어 better not 난 사방에 다 뿌린지 마치 red hot
Broken and bruised, what's left to lose here on the edge of forever? I'll never fight, we all sacrifice, fight until the final hour. Pain is my superpower. Keep my head up high, run through rain or shine. Can't help it without the sour. Pain is my superpower. 할 말 있음 어서 말해봐. Tough guy 된 혀꼬여서 도망가. 이제는 시시해 gunfight. I brought a blade. They forgot to shave. 날 주워와 맛보게 fade. 끝이 보여 네 bandits. 끝없는 내 rampage. 이게 나니까 저지 can't change. 내게 나서 plan B. 요즘 plan A. 바꿔 pain every champion into champagne. Broken and bruised. What's left to lose here on the edge of forever? If I never win, I'll never fight. We all sacrifice, fight until the final hour. Pain is my superpower. Keep my head up high, run through
wake up and dance. You know I got to get up and dance. When I'm in the backyard, dance, dance. When I'm in the graveyard, we dance. When I go back to sleep, I dance. In the realm of dreams, I dance. When I'm in the boneyard, dance, dance. When I'm caught off guard, I dance. I got a feeling I can't shake, but I'ma try to shake it anyway. I got a move that I can't break, but I'ma break that thing anyway. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, we're gonna move our feet. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, whoa. You know I got to wake up and dance. You know I got to get up and dance. When I'm in the backyard, dance, dance. When I'm in the graveyard, we dance. When I go back to sleep, I dance. In the realm of dreams, I dance. When I'm in the boneyard, dance, dance. When I'm caught off guard, I dance. Feet on the ceiling, feeling great. Don't tell your mama we shaking, babe. Break the rules and do your thing. Bring your shoes, yeah, bring your date. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, we're gonna move our feet. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, yeah. You know I got to wake up and dance. You know I got to get up and dance. When I'm in the backyard, dance, dance. When I'm in the graveyard, we dance. When I go back to sleep, I dance. In the realm of dreams, I dance. When I'm in the boneyard, dance, dance. When I'm caught off guard, I dance.
Your body knows. A sense of victory. Seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. Designed to win.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm out here in the cold night, running till I barely feel my feet. Wanna see it through my own eyes. There's no going back, and I'm not afraid anymore. Cause I know I'm gonna be the last one standing. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah, I don't wanna wait anymore. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes, I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down. See that I'm surrounded by predators. It's critical, they got me in my element. It's dirty how you trying to keep it elegant. Keep my eyes open wide when everyone around me is an enemy. See my life cross my eyes. I'm ready to fall, I'm ready to rise up. I
Too bad you can't take me down. You can't take me down. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm a villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm a villain. Too bad you can't take me down.
But only one gets the title of champion.
An entire year's worth of blood, sweat, and tears comes down to this. Today, one of BBL or Giant X will make history and lock in the last spot for Champions Paris. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Riot Games Arena in Berlin, Germany. I am your host, Yingsu. I've got Billy and Kakuka here with me today. First of all, Kakuka, Rians has made champions.
Honestly, I'm going to like that intro better than what I experienced this morning watching the match that I watched in Pacific. So I am happy I'm not going to miss him.
Yeah, there we go. Billy, you missed it, but Kakuka said that Rians was the player that she was going to miss the most for not making champs. Have you got a player?
Don't have to.
Yeah. Have you got a player in
Only win
mind
for me.
after what happened yesterday that you're going to miss seeing?
Yeah, do you know what? I think if Yambi doesn't make it, I'm going to be really upset. Just like going through every single emotion yesterday, watching that game against Team Liquid, yeah, I feel like he's kind of worked so hard this year.
I'm going to stand by Durka, but I will miss Ruxik. I think Ruxik
Yes,
not making
that's
it is
fair.
kind of like a crime. Unfortunately, the players we mentioned so far, they won't be making it, but there is one team still left. The stakes are incredibly simple for today. If BBL win, they'll be going to champs. And if Giant X win, they will be going to champs. And of course, making it to a grand final to face Team Liquid as well. If we look behind us here, all of the other regions have already locked their teams. Yes, we had a little cry about Talon together on Boy stream with Precision a little bit earlier today. But how do you think our teams, I'll start with you, Billy, is going to fare against some of the other ones in the other regions?
Oh, that's a big question. Do you know what? We're quite lucky that Fnatic and Team Heretics have had a little bit more time to prepare due to bombing out of playoffs so early. So that's like my golden hope for champs at the moment.
I think that right now, looking at the rest of the regions, and I know that the final for Americas, Pacific, and EMEA is tomorrow. I love the fact that we have the run-in schedule, like starting with Pacific, then us, and then America. So it's a good day to stay at home. I think that if I look at like it's very top-heavy, right? Like I see G2 being absolutely brilliant. I see Paper X also being like very, very good. So I think I still stand by the. I don't know where we fare, like where we fit into all of this. So guess we'll have some answers in Paris.
I just love that there is a real chance that we get Billy, NRG, and Fnatic in the same group. If you know, you know. That will be really exciting, I think, for us. But that's the other regions. Who cares? Who cares what's going on in Americas when we have BBL versus Giant X here for the lower bracket final. Now, my pick'ems are dead. This was my grand final. How are your pick'ems doing?
Your pick'ems are only just dead?
Yeah, my pick'ems, I had BBL versus Giant X in the finals.
How long ago did you burn your pick'ems?
My pick'ems have been dead since like day dot. I had KC making it all the way and they didn't. So
I mean, I did have Team Heretics winning because I did want BBL to eventually make a lower bracket run. But I will say that in our socials, yesterday I was right. I do not know if I will be right today because this would be a sad way of closing the year for any of the teams, I think.
Yeah, it would. But I want to flip it as like they could end on a high, right? Because both teams have overachieved at this point in a region, like you said. We were also quite top heavy at some points here and there during the partnership era. And the fact that it comes down to one of GX or BBL and Kukuka, and it's a best of 5?
Yes.
That's really fun.
So Giant X can bring it back anytime.
Yeah.
I think that also the prospect of potentially having 2 Spanish orgs in an international event is absolutely brilliant. And to me, I still stand by what I said. I think that Giant X were the surprise of Stage 2, and they have the chance today to cement that in not just a fluke, not just being lucky, being so separated to what everybody else plays, and just sticking with what they're strong. They're risen above the rest of the region.
I think it's almost poetic as well that we get a best of 5 between these two teams today, because during the off-season, like BBL's first ever best of 5 together as a team was against Giant X in a grand finals, which they ended up winning. So it's almost like a nice having your first best of 5 against this side and now having to potentially have your last. Like, it's almost poetic in a way for me. So
for me, it's sending more rookies to a global event. Of course, with the context of the teams that are playing today, we have almost a record amount of rookies. I think Heretics were the ones that kind of set the trend for it. But looking at all of the players that have never made champs or even a global event at this point is super, super exciting. You know, I like Sociable potentially being able to raise the average age up a little bit. Now Angel's not making it. But on the other side, I'm going to say this one more time. I've kind of beat this horse to death. But there is a world that Grubby goes to what champions that Durka and Les are not a part of. And Kukuka, I know you love the Spanish orgs, whatever, but if I had said that to you in the beginning of the year, like, be real with me, how would you have reacted?
I would have been like, I don't know what you had last night, but I want some. Yeah. And to me, it's not only Groovy. I think that, Westside from the beginning of the year, we were very like, oh, we know he's going to be good, so not that big of a surprise. Aaron Flickless weren't even in the region at the beginning of the year. And on the other side, and even though we do not have him in the graphic, same goes for Thinky. Thinky, that now is an assistant coach in BBL, was coaching Aaron Flickless. At some point in his career, he also coached Groovy.
Oh my god, actually,
everybody's been in Newcomb here.
Yeah, well, this is crazy, because when I interviewed Flickless, he was like, oh, Thinky, like, well, I'll see you there, I want to take you down.
Oh,
and I said, like, you can both go, you don't have to fight about this. But Billy, I was wrong. Yeah, they can't both go anymore.
Yeah, I think for me, like, the two kind of standouts looking at these has been Ara and Levin so far throughout this year. I think as well, you have to think about how Ara has come on throughout this stage and how he kind of plays that duelist role. I think in the style clash, they're kind of similar in the sense that they're both very aggressive, very disruptive. But I think the difference between these two is that you have Ara, who's being set up by that kind of double initiator, whereas with Levin, you kind of have just Yampy throwing in flashes whenever he can for them. So for me, this is the kind of clash that I'm looking at in terms of the rookies.
Do you see it as a clash, or do you see it as they are very similar?
I think the Jet on Levin is very similar to Ara's Neon, but I think sometimes Levin, to me, is just kind of playing to be traded at times, whereas Ara is playing to just keep pushing forward.
I do think they're different, and they're different also at the core. When we think about BBL and how innovative they've been and everything, Levin has to be a part of it. At the beginning of the year, we were speaking, if he's on the Jet, he's going to be more comfortable, but he had to leave that shell. On the side of Ara, he's been playing Neon and Jet. That is what has been working for Giant X, and he's been in that comfort zone, right? I like the way that the team set up Ara more than they set up Levin, because the position that Levin is put up many times does not fit within the pack. So they are different, but I do not see a clear winning just in this two.
Yeah, honestly, for me too, I'll just hop on because I think they're so different, and that's why I love this matchup so much. But for you guys, it is not too late to hop on the GX train, and if I can't convince you, perhaps this man can. Some of you guys at home might be surprised at a Giant X miracle run, but it has happened before. A while ago, Cloud, you were part of that miracle run back in 2023. Do you remember much of it?
Yeah, I remember pretty much every game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is going to make my job so much easier because we're going to run through some highlights and clips, and I want you to talk me through maybe some of your most memorable moments. I'll start with the beginning of that tournament. Did you expect to go flawlessly to qualify for champs?
To be honest, we did not expect, but I think everyone had their kind of week, and everyone played really good this last chance qualifier.
And Na'Vi are always at the scene of the crime. You had to also beat Na'Vi in the finals. I know the final wasn't as, high stakes at that point. What did you remember at at that final against Na'Vi?
I mean, at the final of with Na'Vi, we just said Rhyme really want to play duelist and race. We let him play, and I played some Jet as well. And Yoro wasn't the best, but I think I hit a really good highlight with my Yoro ult and Viper ult. Like spam on me, and stuff like this on bind.
This was a great round by you.
I mean, there was a lot of great rounds. I think from from my Jet, and yeah, it was a great feeling, to be honest.
You miss these faces?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, that's very sweet. You miss not being IGL? You weren't IGL back then. You could just be let free.
I think I was always mid calling, even back then, not realizing myself, but I was giving a lot of mid calls for Rhyme to make his life easier, and it was feeling good because he was leading the team and I was just helping him in a way.
Of course, those faces, they are well-known faces, some of those players been playing since 2020. Now you're kind of surrounded by kids. You're the most experienced person on your team. What is the difference or maybe similarity compared to that miracle run and to do it with your current teammates?
I mean, to be honest, even though they are kids, but they are dealing good with pressure, because comparing how we play, we lost really a tough game against Liquid in the upper bracket, and I think their mentality was really good in the lower bracket as well, because they knew we can beat any team with our full potential, and that's it. Yeah, they were never down mental way,
Is this qualification for champs harder compared to 2023?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, in what ways?
I mean, there is legit every team is super strong right now. They have star players that are carrying them, or full team is just strong and stuff like this. So there is no easy team right now, Then back then there was KC, which were not really good and stuff like this. There were Koi as well, and but right now every team is really good.
And very last question, if you qualify for champs, depending on what happens today and tomorrow, you might be in the same group as EDG again. It could happen, we don't know, but it could happen. How are you feeling potentially facing them after all these years? Because you've both grown so much.
I think it would be nice to take revenge against them, but let's see on today's games.
I like that. Thank you very much, Cloud, and good luck. I think there's a lot to break down there, but first of all, I mean, Kakuka, you've been here since day one with Cloud, we've seen him grow throughout the years. Do you feel like he has grown up, he's developed? Because he is, like I said, the most experienced player on his team now.
Yeah, and I think we've mentioned it a lot of times when we were like, when is he going to win something? We see the potential, and we also see the longevity, and there is always a reason to keep Cloud. So also good that he's now in the IGL. He also recognizes how he was helping the team and whatnot, and he's been through a lot. So let's see if he can get it today.
I like that he mentioned how they've been feeling positive so far. I mean, we've been hearing it from all the players. Flickla said it in an interview, Westside said it in an interview, they're just not feeling any form of negativity. And I think coming off the back of a win yesterday, going into today, is just going to set them up for success.
I like the fact that he also said that is the fact that every team is very strong, and it's not that we are a no-team region. So thank you for that answer.
Yeah, in 2023 was different, according to him.
Apparently.
But one other thing he said, is about going up against teams, very strong players, very strong teams. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Westside, because he was saying that BBL should be stressed today because they lost yesterday. But Billy, if BBL do this today against a GX team that is very prone to throw advantages?
The thing is, I don't even think it's a case of if they do it, it's when they do it, because BBL have been getting away with this stuff all year. The times that we've been sitting here and talking about BBL's thrifties, I feel
this round yesterday.
Oh my God, iconic, actually iconic. When do you see a Ninja Diffuse? In the big 2025, we're seeing things like this. This is BBL.
Yeah, I think that what we saw yesterday, there was a lot of mistakes coming in from the side of BBL. This bind was absolutely iconic. If you want to watch anything from the 6 maps that we watched yesterday, please watch this bind, because some of the things did not make sense. One of them
okay, I was like, where are you going with this?
Some of the things did not make sense. But I like to see that even in this rounds, and even against very strong opponents, they can have these ideas and they can rely on, it's not only about the economy, it's about using every single tool that we have, going from agents and in the composition to abilities and whatnot.
For entertainment value, yes, I would like to see that. that again, but for the sake of, you know, feeling confident going to champs, I would like to see something very different. But looking at this as well, Kakuka, 3 unique comps. This is really impressive from BBL.
And especially the fact that they've done this in playoffs. Like, this is the new compositions that we've seen in playoffs, and they are so different, right? Like, we see Prophet playing a different controller in every single game. Same goes for Yampi. Sociable playing 3 different roles. Like, how much is this going to get into their heads? Because I assume that this is very difficult to perfection. We do not know how long these compositions are going to last, but, for example, the one on Ascent, they seem to be doubling down onto it. So I really hope that these reps end up being true preparation for champs and not being like, no, guys, we need to redo everything.
I think as well, on the Ascent point, they ran something very similar to this. It was the triple initiator back in stage 1. They just kind of reworked it coming into this playoffs. And at first I was like, okay, maybe it's like a direct ante to what Fnatic have been doing. But like you say, they've just continued and continued getting away with it. So yeah, I think the fact that we could potentially have 5 maps today, there's a good chance we get to see a bunch of these compositions.
Here's my worry though, is one night enough to innovate and fix stuff?
No. I think that they've innovated enough, and I think that yesterday, even leaving that bind as a possibility for the 3rd map, showing the composition that they showed, with the Giant X displays normal comps.
Well, over the last 2 weeks, some of the greatest players in history have missed out on the chance to make champs. With just 1 spot left for Paris, it comes down to BBL and Giant X. It is time to kick off the lower finals of VCT EMEA.
BBL Esports.
That are standing on this stage right now have ever been to champs before. And after today, we're gonna add a few more names onto that list. But this is a best of 5. Both teams will get a first ban, and then the rest, it could be a marathon, it could be a sprint, especially if you are Talon or RQ, definitely a marathon. I'm hoping we don't see that here today. Let's just give us
I hope we do. I hope it looks like a 3-0 and then a 1v4 by Xfer just jumped into the server.
But yeah, looking at this, we have no Kuroda, no Icebox, and Billy at this point of playoffs. No surprises.
Yeah, no surprises at all. You kind of saw BBL slip away from the Road last time they played Giant X on that map, and of course it was another weird, innovative composition that we saw from them. So yeah, no surprise that they take that out. Giant X taking away the Icebox, again, another map that they lost against BBL. So I think as we look at this map, Vito, it feels as though they've just kind of sliced out what they think their opponent's best map would be.
Yeah, and for Giant X, the comfort for this entire playoffs seems to be Sunset. They really want to play there. As we say, they go with the double initiator, with the simple comms, very, very 2021, but it works for them. To me, the question is, why did BBL decided to start with the Ascent? I think that I think that there's some tells that could be one of the possibilities in why they decide to do so, and especially with Giant X, like starting on the defense and just being extra aggressive. I want to know how far this composition from BBL can go against Team Liquid. You know, it is tricky.
I think it's a really important point to raise, because when we saw BBL play that yesterday against, yesterday, or the other day, I can't even remember, against Team Liquid, it was just, the attack was kind of sussed out by this point, right? And I think Giant X being able to start on that defensive side is going to be really beneficial for them, considering BBL could only get 5 rounds on that attack.
I'm so worried about this bind. I am so worried. We will talk about it when we get there, because we will be guaranteed to see that bind. Coming on to Ascent, Billy, you mentioned already that the similarities and differences between Levin and Ara. What are you going to see here on Ascent in terms of similarities or differences?
Well, that's the thing. This is the map where we actually get to see Levin have 3 initiators for him to be able to jump in and go crazy. But I think on the attack in particular, the way that they play that triple initiator is actually kind of interesting, in the sense that they do like to exploit mid with that. They'll set let someone up in main and then they'll kind of work around the map and create question marks where they can. I think the differences here is Ara on the op is going to be able to catch them off guard.
So it's important that Ara does not get that op if you're on the BBL.
Should he have that op considering the comp?
The problem is, yes, the problem is that going up against a triple initiator, you have a Fade, a Tejo, and a KO that are going to be impossible, like making it very difficult for you to find success with that. To me, what GIANX needs to do is play with the space. Like they need to be very wary of where BBL are putting the pressure and what to do with it. Something that we saw yesterday is BBL be very quick on the attack, of just making very quick decisions and just dumping utility in so many occasions, and Team Liquid had a very strong start because of that. I do think that they're going to learn from that. There were so many executes where you see, man, like they have a few mollies that they can work with. Like some of them were thought only just halfway, you know. And
let's use some of those mollies today.
Yeah, let's use some of those.
Let's use
Especially
if somebody's in a cubby.
Or in woods, or like CT if you're executing B, like just use them.
Yeah, because whilst Trex is not playing today, there will be West Side. You want it, there will be West Side, there will be Cloud. You want to be able to actually use your util against them. And looking at the agents, I mean, no surprises at this point. And for GIANX, normally I would say I'm worried if they don't start, you know, fast on map 1, but they've got 5 maps to work with, so it doesn't actually bother me at this point.
For them. Comfort zone for them. They know that this map is too warm up. I would really like to see GIANX succeed in this way and actually taking the win today just to crown their year and to, again, be the surprise. So for me, going into this ascent, West Side playing on the A has to be like kind of a necessity. There was some setups from Nats yesterday that were making it very difficult for Levin to even execute. And BBL, they have to keep innovating with this, but most importantly, keep their head in the game. Work with your tools.
Yeah, 100%. It's those post plants that seem to be a big issue for BBL yesterday. Team Liquid recognizing the composition that they were up against and consistently playing retake. That's something that GIANX will be thinking here. As much as West Side is a strong anchor on defense, I don't want to see him getting overwhelmed by that amount of utility.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting place to start, especially considering there are no changes.
Yeah, no changes. The aggressiveness I want to see from GIANX, and to me, also very, very important, you mentioned West Side. I want to see Cloud. I want to see Cloud in the insanely reactive ultimates that he uses and how he can help set up the rest of his team.
I want to see Mitch and Tom, so I'm going to show you guys Mitch and Tom. Over to you, Mitch and Tom.
A smooth segue as always, Yinsu. Thank you very much. It's time to kick off this matchup. The crowd is certainly ready. I think I am too, Tom.
Yeah, no, a matchup in the lower finals that actually means something. Like it's something that a lot of the time you don't get. The final is for the trophy, but when it comes to qualification to events, a lot of the time we've had it done early. We've been waiting to see like, oh, what's going to happen at that international? Not the case here today. It is very, very simple. You've heard permutations throughout. If this team beats this team and this team beats it's all or nothing. The winner of this game goes to Champions. The loser is out. Simple as that.
Yeah, we've had many different stakes in the past coming into this stage of the tournament, and often it will be one team fighting for that seeding while the other is looking to qualify. No, this is clear cut as can be. The stakes couldn't be higher for either of these teams. A year of competition, everything working towards Champions, and everything coming down to this moment. They best put their best feet forward, and we've seen plenty of power-ups throughout these last couple weeks. I'm looking at Ara coming into this game. He has had a phenomenal resurgence. Group stage was not kind to him. He had good games and bad games averaging out, but here, he has looked fantastic in the playoffs, and he'll be the man to draw first blood as well.
Look at the HP. The other two players already desperately low. Levin trying to take the charge, but he walks into Flickless. This is a good start for GX, and it's looking to continue. Spike on the deck, and 2 left standing. Sociable, well, I was going to say, might find a gap. Ara going, looking, could give him a kill. That's a way back into the round. The Sheriff potentially to be picked up. Westside needs to win this fight. Maybe over facing just a little bit in this pistol. And now with a path to the B site, there's an opportunity here for BBL.
Oh, nice shutdown by Cloud, though. Doesn't want to overcommit. 3 versus 2, or versus 1 rather, after taking down Profec. But Sociable's got that Sheriff. He can be dangerous. He showed it on Sunset just yesterday. Maybe he will in the next map, but for now, it's a 1-0 for GX, and another strong start for Ara, which is something I'm looking for. As I said, he's a player that has had these, his ceiling is so high, but his floor seems so low throughout the group stage, and yet it seems like all we've seen is that ceiling here in playoffs, a man who is driven to make it to Champions.
But that's sort of the fun thing about this matchup. I feel like he is up and down in games, and Levin is up and down in rounds. Like it's like, I'd say if you look at scoreboards, Levin might be a little bit more consistent, but we saw it in their prior match. He had some moments that you want to forget, and some that we'll never forget, just with how good individually he can be. Another that fits that bill is, of course, Sociable, but I'm sure we'll have plenty to focus on throughout the entirety of this series. For now, it's a good early start for GX, and something we've highlighted throughout almost the entirety of Stage 2 was the victories in pistols for BBL. I'd say over the last couple of days, that stat has taken a hit.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there was a point where they were sitting around like 68%. Like, they were untouchable when it came to those pistol rounds, but the wins have changed, certainly in effect. And now the result of that 1-0 for GX is obviously one pistol and a full buy against Classics late into the round. BBL don't find their opportunities. These are the kind of rounds where maybe you're farming orbs, and then you're playing together as a unit, looking to just brute force into a site, use your numbers to your advantage. And well, the only thing is, towards this site, Grabinho on the jump spot down below. It looks like he's playing a game of Mario with Ara close by, but Ara has to play through a smoke with an outlaw. He's kind of going to leave Grabinho isolated, which gives the pick away, gives the rifle as well, and even still, he has to wait for that reveal, but when it comes through, they follow up instantly.
Okay. This just got interesting. That's an outlaw into enemy hands, more importantly into Sociable's hands. Now, a couple of the players have at least been tagged a little, but they are dealing with things well, and while trying to come out of the smoke, there was no real chance for Sociable. All in all, not a bad round for BBL. They made it costly, they got a plant, but it's still the round going the way of GX and that conversion in tow.
Yeah, they only had that one pistol, though, on GX, so quite a lot of damage done indeed. I think BBL can have their head held high. They chose the right site. Their smoke towards short or towards the door completely locked out any play from Ara until that reveal landed. Then he's able to actually have some say, but he gets pushed on. Again, BBL making the instant read to make that push over into the player who had a sniper inside of smoke. Nice. It's an easy conversion of a few picks. Good damage to the economy. GX happy not to lose the round, and now looking for a 3-0 start, but with weaker weapons.
I want to go back to yesterday as well. Bear in mind, BBL played this map, 5-0 start for Liquid. They didn't get much going on the attack for at least a while. They brought it back to within a close round, but if GX can get that same sort of start, especially with that upgraded rifle now brought into play, this becomes quite scary. We've spoken that for most teams currently playing within the tournament, getting those attack rounds on Ascent, normally the more difficult of the two.
But unlike yesterday, BBL haven't gone in for the force buy in round 2, so where their first full buy came in round 4, now they've got that coming in to round number 3. So we do want to see that little bit of a show up from them early on, at least in terms of contesting, even if the scoreline does slip away. Taking that lighter by, still making, hey, maybe if they'd have force bought that one, they would have won towards the A side, who knows? That'll be a question that's never answered. For GX, so this is somewhere that they should be losing the round. Like we said, with the damage done in the previous, you've got Grabinho on a Bucky, you've got a Sheriff in play for Ara. I mean, really not there are a lot of weaknesses for this squad.
They shot early as well. It wasn't actually the Bucky that shoots the Prowler, it's the player behind. They're trying to bait them into that fight, but instead, they are going in the other direction. The weaker of the two, but the Cypher setup's here.
Clouds up above the smoke, very nice angle. A freebie in a round like this, he couldn't wish for much more, but Westside going down through the cage. That's a nice return for BBL. They've got the site, a plant should be found, and now retaking with the Bucky, retaking with the Sheriff. It's gonna have its downsides. Seen the impact of a good reveal earlier, but there'll be none to be found as Cloud goes down. Ara closing the distance, but they're aware on BBL that all their opponents are towards this angle. The blind is perfect, though. Great work from Grabinho. Flickless onto Levin. Now they start to close the distance, but Sociable stands strong in a round where they need him to show up. It's 2-1.
Yeah, and this is something else I want to highlight. Although that is a round for BBL, I think credit needs to be given to players like Flickless and like Grabinho. I think they've been the glue of this team as of recent, and the pop flash that goes through and then followed up by the paranoia, that made a round that should have been very clean and almost impossible into a winnable round, if not for Sociable. So you got to watch out for that when GX have the rifles, because there's a good chance that that round wouldn't have even been close.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of utility usage, obviously Grabinho did well there with the paranoia, but Flickless has just been one of the most impressive to look at. Like I've been blown away with him pretty much from week one, but it's a consistency thing as well. Like every game that he's played, he's been on point. And then we move towards playoffs.
He's got better as well.
Yes, gotten better, not just in his util, but then also he started showing up individually. We've seen this guy put up numbers. If you compare his first 3 weeks to his last 3, it's a very different story being told. And that utility usage, that support element hasn't gone anywhere. So definitely an extremely valuable player. I expect to see him next year, regardless of the result here, or if GX make it the champs, depending on how that goes.
Yeah. An early C's actually utilized by the attack. And I'm curious as to what the goal was there. Just maybe trying to keep a couple of players on that side, but there wasn't anything to follow up off the back of it. Flickless now, just there to delay. I think the plan was always to try and head into this B site. Arrow well positioned, will be forced back, and just about makes it through the salvos before they go off.
Still the reveal in play for Cloud, so these smokes going up. It's going to get complicated pretty soon. In for West Side onto Levin, catches the push, and Cloud managing one before going down. The spam through the smoke, not so kind to him. Late play coming in from Sociable, but there's nothing to be found. And it is the man we were talking about, Flickless, who just dominated that site after running out of the market. 3-1 for GX. They lose on their very light sort of bonus round, but then they come right back in swinging. And even then, in round 3, it was incredibly close.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They barely kept any rifles up other than the couple that were remaining. And because of that, the economy is already in a pretty bad state for the side of BBL. Sure, last time it might have been 5-0, but it seems like there's a good chance that this one may go even more dominant if they can't start streaking together. Bear in mind as well, this is sort of the burden they've had of picking this map. You're always going to start on the attack, and if you start slow, that's a problem.
Oh, that's a mistake from Yumpy. He's walked straight into Ara. Luckily, this isn't a full buy for BBL. There's weaknesses, so it's good to get those out of the way early, but Ara's showing that even against the low buy, which he knows, the opposition hasn't got money for rifles and shields. And he's willing to play that little bit aggressive, that little bit confident. And that's, again, what I'm looking to see from this guy who has just heated up as playoffs continue. 6-4 start from the Duelist. A Blade Storm available. And what should be now, thanks to his work, an easy closer to a round that BBL have made look a little competitive in the past.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's much. Sociable has his ult, but unless they get into a position where, you know, maybe if Levin gets a kill and they get a plant that gets him an ult. But the bigger problem they have is, even if you deal with some of the earlier fights, you've then got to try and get past Westside. Well, just speak his name and he appears. It almost looks too easy. An in-zone flawless for GX to go 4-1 into the lead. And well, the credit's already booming. The ult's starting to come online as well. I'm waiting to see if maybe once again there'll need to be an early BBL pause.
I think it's still very early doors, but coming out of this next buy round, that's where
come on, let's go,
things
boys.
do go awry. I'd expect to see it. You think about the previous purchase from BBL, and it was some individual whiffs. It was Flickless catching them off guard as the door was closing. Priorities.
It will be really 6-1 down, though.
Yeah. Keeping one for the next half. I mean, you have to rely on BBL still having that ability. We saw them 5-0 down, battle back 7-5 at the half. Not in their favor, but still, they managed to put up enough rounds.
They've already taken full middle control. Like, this is just absurd. They're getting boxed in immediately, and now Prophet tries to react, but he's not quick enough. The defense waited for them to have that buy and then went full aggro. BBL have been caught off guard, and well, this round's already looking over.
Yeah, about that pause. It could be the time for it, coming up soon. Ara's confidence is just out of control right now. Not only that, he's not pushing solo, right? You said it was 3 players going down on mid, covering all their bases. They're looking like the better squad right now by far. And BBL have to go back to the drawing board. This is their map pick. And somewhere we've seen them show up. Somewhere we've seen them be slow to start, like we've been talking about. But now we're getting towards panic stations as GX make this one look very clean.
Yeah, that's the problem. Normally when you talk about GX as well, that first map, I think Bear mentioned it on the desk, that it can be a bit of a warm-up. Like, okay, they start slow, map 2 and 3, they're really good. If they're blitzing in map 1, this is a terrifying prospect, and as you said, it's like sometimes maybe Ara can be a little bit slow. Sometimes West, they're all on. Every single player at the moment is performing for one side. And other than the singular round out of Sociable, there's been nothing. Now, the one thing BBL does have coming into this round is 5 ultimates. Weaponry a bit weak, but there's still a chance.
You do also have to think about how we got here as well. Oh, this is going to be a fast play. GX are looking to straight up push down. The DRX in full effect. Ara's going through. Cloudburst flash. He's being caught by it. He stepped out too early. Now they've got him boxed in the corner. In goes the util. He's been pressured from all sides and will go down. But Flickless stepped out to battle alongside him. He'll even take Sociable on the top of mid. The weaker weapons really showing their weaknesses as Flickless just dominates the mid fights. That is disgusting. He stepped out to try to help Ara, and instead he's helped GX by putting the 6th on the board.
The weird thing as well is, I think in the middle of all that, Magnum tried to use his ult just to help a little bit, and it didn't make a difference. It doesn't seem like anything is making a difference, and we now do see that pause, but I think you're kind of seeing what I was talking about when saying that maybe it was the time at 4-1 down, because you're calling a pause at 6-1 down. Yeah. Like, you're basically relying on, okay, now can we streak 5 rounds in a row? Or at least like 3 or 4. And with how things have been going so far, well, GX just pushed mid 2 rounds in a row. Like, I think they're about as confident as you can get.
I think you do have to look at it, and I think it's different for every team, but something I think GX are guilty of is calling those pauses too early, putting a stoppage to play, stopping your players from finding those solutions themselves. And I think a big part of being a coach is not to smack that button the second you see that there's an issue. It's to arm your players with the ability to play out those first 5, 6, 7 rounds themselves, to problem solve and to listen in. If you hear something that's not sounding right to you, sure, you smack that button, but usually coaches like to leave it those 6 because you can structure those, but now we need the adaptations. And at 6-1 down, BBL desperately need those adaptations.
That's the problem, though. I worry at this stage if it's already too late. Just because the manner of the rounds they've lost, other than the one they won against a bonus, it has been so clean for GX. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see if they have now got the answers.
And I'm sure it's strange to listen to that and think, whoa, Tom, I mean, it's a 5-round gap. We just said they were 5 rounds down in the last time they played this, and they won the map. So what's the problem?
They didn't win the map.
Oh, they didn't. It was 13-10 against them, and then they came back. Yeah, you're right. So first of all, already an issue. But the other thing is, last time, and this makes this point even worse, the last time, those rounds were at least up for competition. Here, it's been decimation. GX have been miles ahead. And after this pause, we need to see a return to form from BBL. Ara finds one. Trades are good. Yumpy's back into the round, but there's so many more players here than I think they expect. Even taking down Westside. Flickless, who's been rock solid, is still here. This time he crumbles, and Cloud is left in a 1v2.
They go back to the basics. Fast-paced hit off the null command, but Cloud, I'll be honest, hasn't had that much to do so far, but always reliable. This crossfire, though, should be tough to break through. 2 players on opposite parts. Even going to try and bait the sounds, but ultimately they will have heard the reload. They know roughly where he's going to be. And as he rounds this corner, you'd expect Magnum to be ready and waiting on the other side. And it will be BBL's return to form. A first, but one needs to be a first of a few.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one straight out of the pause. The plan's there. Popping the ult on Yumpy, letting him swing, take that shot from the operator, and then they close the distance. And this was not an easy push. I mean, there were so many players here flying under the radar. Westside maybe swinging a little bit too early. Probably want to see him go off Flickless contact, but he's trying to get involved with Rubinho, who they already knew was there. Flickless flies under the radar, and I think, honestly, a rare whiff from him. He puts a player low, doesn't manage to take it across the line, and from what we've seen so far this game, that's a bit of a godsend. You're not going to get that too many more times.
Again, early utility being sent in, but this time on the other side of the map, and I'm looking at the position currently of that spike. This may be some early utility, but it isn't an early commitment. Maybe expecting some sort of response, maybe hoping that there would be a TP across the map from the likes of Grubinho, who does have his ultimate online, but instead, after no reaction, BBL are going to fall back into a more patient play. However, that's not gone to plan at all. Ara, once more, starting things off with an opener.
And I don't think in first duels he's even the guy I would hail for in terms of his playoff performance, but this game he's certainly taking on a new identity. It's a scary thing for BBL to face him on this kind of form. TP going through. It's not going to be stuck, surely. No, Prophet commits it. He's in.
Oh,
and now
no.
he's revealed. He's got the spike. The spams are coming through. The damage done leaves him on 13, and it's the off to drop him. Meanwhile, Magnum and Sociable fall, and Yumpy, all that's left from a successful round off an ultimate. Straight A pressure, a 1v5. GX looking clean right after that pause, and this has gone from bad to worse for BBL.
Yeah, the direct play, firstly, didn't pull anybody. Like, GX are playing so confidently in their setups that nobody decided to move. Then you lose Levin on a sort of wild jump into mid. And from them onwards, it almost looked too easy. I love the fact as well that that trip is mostly meant for Levin. Like, you put that into position just to catch the Jet as they dive in to click the switch. Instead, a player TP's next to it and just walks into it by coincidence and gets killed because of it. It is a solid start for GX, and while the best BBL can hope for is 5, and I'll be honest with what I've seen so far, I don't think they're getting there.
I think we got to just enforce the strategy of don't go B. Westside is too powerful right now to be dealt with.
So you want to go to Flickless Ara? Like,
Hell yeah.
There's no good options right now. Nothing's working.
Flickless was 9-2, got killed trying to hunt down the final weapon in Wine. Looking the wrong way, it seems to be the biggest success rate for taking him out. And again, talking about how they got here, as we've got a slower start to the round, BBL failing to qualify. They had a chance. They were within punching distance.
But they had match point.
Match series champs point, and they failed. They faltered. They fell down here. GX are coming off the back of a hot streak in the lower bracket. They've looked like they were out of the competition for a couple of days, but they've kept themselves alive, and now they're within reaching distance of their goal. I think GX have got by far the most wind in their sails, while BBL are looking for a bounce back. And what we're seeing so far doesn't make it look likely that that's the kind of day they're going to have.
This is your map choice. And right now it's looking like your opponent's Ara in place once again. Flickless on that cross, and they have just been decimated. You spoke about going in towards that A site as potentially the safe haven. You avoid West side. Well, that's the other side of the coin. It's not looking much better.
That is where I call a pause and go, all right, boys, back to B. Let's push West side. Let's take West side down. Can we plant mid? Can we try it? We tried it. This is a...
I think they know where he is.
Horrendous start to the 1v5. He's being spotted. Dove on, and they've Ara! He had no right to bring it there. I mean, if you thought BBL were feeling down before this, that's got to put them out. Disrespectful play, but he's earned it.
It's just Flickless causing them issues, and the more issues he causes them, the more space he makes for Ara. It is a gorgeous 1-2 punch on the way in, and, well, yeah, as if it wasn't going bad enough, the disrespect of the knife at the end. 8-2. And for BBL, it starts to move away from resetting on this map and talking about resetting into the next one. It's a much more direct take, but already Westside. I spoke about what is the lesser of two evils. Right now, there isn't one.
Well, we were talking about A being Flickless and Ara. Now B is Ara and Westside. It's about as bad as it can be. Avoiding Ara seems to be a difficulty. It's still Westside to pick up the opening after Ara was blinded. 3 players and traps on B, though. That leaves weaknesses on A, but they're choosing the wrong spot. They're moving into the off, which has missed its shot. Okay, an opportunity perhaps, but they'll still need to get by another player in Cloud and another in the form of Westside, who's got his 2nd kill of the round. BBL, you know, they're a team that we look at as good in pistols, but also good in these force buys or these light buys where they've just got sheriffs and a couple bits and pieces. It's certainly not been the flavor of the day here.
Okay.
Oh, 2 misses.
Ara showing he is mortal, but maybe in a round where it won't matter too much. They had pulled it back into a 2v2. Sociable's ultimate has been online for a long time, and Magnum has the spike. He needs to at least get one of these, and he will. Puts it into the 1v1 scenario. Sociable was the guy to win them there first. Looks to bring them their 3rd. A lifeline, and he's got it just about right, but Groovy has the read. Another scenario that goes the way of GX. 9-2 up. And even when there looked like a blip or 2 was there for GX, they still recover.
One more round to play for. BBL setting their goal at 3, not by choice. Great round from Rabinho, and I think this is across the board a stellar performance from GX. Even Cloud 4 and 5. He's got 8 assists. And those are all pretty damn high impact. Those reveals that he sent from B to A single-handedly won them around in round number 2, stopped BBL from having early success on the board. It looks like there will be a shift to the B site. They look once again to challenge West side.
Spike dropped.
With Yampi faking out A, I like this.
For Grabinho as well. The story of leaving Koi, a team that finished 1-4 in the stage he played, to being a singular match away from champions, might be one of the biggest glow-ups we've ever seen within the region. Of course, as it was said on the desk, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but right now it's looking like a sprint for GX. Finally, we're going to see the usage of that Armageddon to try and give them some space. Levin is already gone again. He's been having a rough half, and it's not getting any better. They have just been decimated. Another in-zone flawless for GX. And right now, this is men against boys.
Champions on the line, but only 2 rounds on the board for BBL on their map pick. This is going to be a difficult second half, to say the least. We expect so much more from this team, and maybe we'll get to see it after the break. Welcome back, folks. 10 rounds on the board for GX. I mean, this squad, I've said it in almost every cast we've had of them, Tom, but they have surprised me every step of the way this year. But I think this one takes the cake. I mean, double digits starting it out. This guy as well, he has blown my socks off. Regular stage, he was middling, average at best when you look at his stats. Against Na'Vi, he was on fire, and he's brought that same energy here today to crush BBL's chances.
Do you know what it is? I heard that he was swapping mouse after every single match. Maybe he just picked the best one and just stuck with it for playoffs.
He was testing it all the way. Smart, man.
It was all the warm-up. Yeah, smart. But hey, it seems like whatever he settled on, maybe that's the one I'll be buying as well, because it's looking pretty good right now.
Let us know, Ara. Let us know. Keyboard 2. The movement's been pretty slick. Double digits. I mean, Nat said it yesterday. It's all a matter of a pistol. He was talking about coming back. For GX, if they're saying that, it's about closing out. They could very well put an end to this map, and a team that we talked about in GX of being slow to start. Well, they are anything but here. No breaks. All gas, and Profek down and out already. Opening duel for the side of GX. Nice C's, though. That's going to grab them at least one back.
But in the meantime, Grabinho pounces. Sociable still trying his best. The fight's awkward, it's labored, and that gives an opportunity back into the 2v2. Sociable still fighting as Grabinho will get the plant in. An even scenario, but Sociable's given them a slight advantage.
Yampi's so low, though. That door breaking open could spell the end for him, and I like this closer angle for Grabinho. Smoke goes down, right click not good, but West side is. The guy's a menace when it comes to headshots, but only a body tap needed. If Ascent is hell, West side must be the devil for BBL. They can't get anything done here. 11-2. They might have to take a force buy.
Yeah, it's the whatever the lesser of evils here is at this stage. We have had moments like this before. I remember, I think it was last stage, or maybe even kickoff, they picked this map versus Liquid. They went 0-12 with this exact composition, playing on the attack. That's always sort of been the burden for BBL, is you want to play this map, but you have to get your attack sides looking a little bit better. And unfortunately, when it matters most, we are seeing the same evil that has caused them issues before. Of course, we're going to talk about then a best of 5. Sure, you can lose map 1. Maybe it doesn't matter too much, but after being so close yesterday, tasting defeat, and then having to reset, I'll be honest, they have not reset. And GX, well, that momentum is definitely still going strong.
Yeah, GX haven't reset either, right? They're bringing that same energy, that same momentum, if anything, building on it throughout this lower bracket run. And it could culminate in their first appearance at VCT Champions since 2023. They've been missing from that international scene, from the big one. But maybe not for too much longer, certainly if they keep playing like this. And again, you look at the facets they have, every player seems to be one of the best in their category. Flickless, a double opening running through the smoke. He finds those picks with ease, and BBL, you know, this isn't a full eco. Look at the credits. They're on 0 for most. In fact, 50 credits between the 5 of them. They put everything into this one. And again, BBL coming up with nothing.
Spike planted.
GX looking to end this one quickly, and honestly, for BBL, that might be a blessing. Give them a chance to reset and hopefully come back for the next one, because right now there's only been one team in this server. It is GX that have been making that lower bracket run. Of course, both teams sent there by Liquid. GX just went there a little bit earlier, and well, dare I say it, that is another in-zone flawless. A forced buy-in, and you don't get a single kill. Wrap this one up.
10 in a row off the low buy. Yeah, this is I've seen many a comeback in my time, but this is not one that I expect to remember for too much longer. For GX, man, it really is surprising. They come into this year, and I wasn't willing to give them.
No.
Yeah, that's a feeling I think we can all relate to. For GX, you know, I thought this is a team that I wouldn't be giving any redemption in this year, and I haven't. Because redemption isn't given, it is earned. And they, throughout this season, they have earned their redemption. They've earned our respect. And now, they're looking to earn a spot in the grand finals, a seat in Champions. This map, the first step of what is sure to be many to come. An execution onto Yampi leaves Sociable alone, and it's time to start thinking about Sunset.
Yeah, last man standing, Sociable. All he can really hope to deny here is another in-zone flawless, and that's not going to be happening either. Let's continue as we mean to go on. GX coming into their opponent's map choice of just won 13-2. A statement victory to kick off this best of 5, but they do need a couple more after the break.
Welcome to Spanish Airlines. My name is Manuel Fernandez Torres, and today my co-captain is Dario Saendas. If you want to eat some paella, you can order on number 3605 Barcelona. Thank you very much. Gracias. Por favor.
Assistant pilot.
Your body knows. A sense of victory. Seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. Designed to win.
Red Bull gives you wings.
A rare first map win for Giant X here. I am your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined once again by Kakuka and Billy. You know, we had worries about how they're going to start slow, how they need time to warm up into the server, but apparently, false narrative, Billy, fully dead, GX, they can win a map 1.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of hinted at it as well, that they're coming into this off the back of a win yesterday, whereas BBL are coming into this off the back of a loss and potentially being in that grand final. And I think Ara, he's certainly heating up in this server today. We said on that defense, one of the things to look out for will be that sniper usage, and the amount that he was getting away with was just ridiculous.
And so many of these vision strikers, so much of that aggression that we were seeing, also paired up at on the other side with using this operator and actually finding the holes. The moment that the BBL were to use utility in some part of the map, he was like, oh, that means that there's a hole in here, or that there's a gap here that I can take, use the timing, and just get a very simple kill. Almost everyone in Giant X did brilliantly.
I feel like even when you mention vision strikers, I feel traumatized because obviously DRX made it earlier and Talon didn't. But anyway, you know, Ara, we expected, you know, him to stay confident, to still be the good player that he is. But moving on to Sunset, is he still the person that we're looking at, or is there someone else?
I think that to me, it has to go, if we look at the differences between the composition, yes, BBL is going to run something that not many other people run, but this one is a little bit more common, you know, a little bit more easy to understand. And it has to do, to me, it's especially about the defense. Sociable had a good map, even with everything given in this ascent. And now that we're going on to Sunset, he will be changing onto the Deadlock. And this is one of the examples of how BBL is going to be defending this side. There's a lot of tools on the other side that can be used against them, but leaving Sociable alone with the amount of utility that he has, timing everything precisely, ends up being very, very strong and putting the numbers onto market, grouping up somewhere else. So that is a good approach. Yeah.
Tacta Bunny, or is that Magnum? I can't tell. With the defuse.
I echo what you say, though. I think Sociable single-handedly was carrying BBL on his back yesterday on Sunset. Like, it was an absolute joke. Everyone else went negative, and I think Sociable ended up going like +21 or something crazy against
put him on Sentinel.
against Team Liquid. So yeah, I think he's definitely one to watch out for.
What about GX's Sunset?
Yeah, so as we know, they're going to go for that double initiator with Ara on the Neon, and then if we take a look at the other side and we look at West side, look at what the moment where the pressure this time is being put through mid, it's just grouping up with Cloud, playing with the numbers. The utility is still on the side. I love the fact that Gurinho uses the TP, knowing that he's covered from that CT side, from having two players playing from Boba and just helping him out. So love to see this kind of plays and being very reactive to this kind of situations. One with the Deadlock, one with the Cypher. They're different approaches and definitely different tools, but also different ways of interpreting and grouping up and where to put your numbers.
I love that we've highlighted Sociable and Westside here, because when we look at this map for both teams, it's a strong map for both teams. So it's kind of those two players that I think we could say that we're looking at going into this one, because they have been such solid anchors on that defense, like you highlight, Bea. For me, though, I don't think all is lost for BBL, because like I say, this is a good map for both of them. They've both played it like 5 times, I want to say. Giant X having an 80% win rate, so it's a bit higher than BBL, sitting on 75%. So like, I still think this is even. I'm honestly surprised that
this series is incredibly even, I think, especially with the map pool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we need to see being a change from map 1 into map 2, Levin, he needs to come online. If Ara's having the day, we know that that means a win for Giant X. So we need Levin to step up, and especially going into Sunset, when we speak about the breach, about the Sova. Ara's going to be finding so many opportunities. If he was not scared of playing with the up and actually made everything work that he had in his mind coming into that ascent, he does that again on Sunset, this is going to be a quick day.
Yeah, my worry is, you know, Groupie is having a day.
Yes.
I'm so happy to see Groupie having a day, but when you have all of the players on point on GX, I think this is what's really people underrate about GX, because when every single one of them is playing well, they genuinely do look like one of the best teams, not just in the region, but perhaps in the world. And yesterday we saw a couple of them underperform, but if they were to carry out the performance they had on Ascent, and also the confidence they had on Ascent, because some of the stuff they were doing was pretty disrespectful, the peaks and the pushes, they almost look like BBL, Billy.
Yeah.
Like they were BBL.
It's kind of crazy, and I think as well, this is something that we've seen from Ara and Flickless since they've come into the league, is they don't care who you are, they don't care what name they're facing against in the server, they will just face you with full confidence, like you say. And I think the synergy between those two coming into this roster together, having played on Challengers all year this year, is one of the key win conditions for Giant X, and has been throughout this playoffs. In saying that though, I don't want to say that all is lost for BBL. I think Yampi being able to start on that defensive side is going to be really helpful for them, because something that we've seen the past couple of days is that sort of attack side IGLing and calling that he's been struggling with a little bit.
I actually think I go for the other side. I think that for Giant X, it is good to start on the attack. If they're able to like set the pace for the game, if they're the ones doing like those fast executes after the first map that we've had, if they come in with the set rounds, those stun into market, an arrow coming in to break any kind of utility, if there's sensors or whatever in that B side, Ara coming running in. If they get like a couple of rounds like that, it's Jover.
For me, is no matter what happens on the pistol for round 2, just like make sure Magnus is dead. Yeah, just make sure that he's there, you know, have a little GPS tracker on him, you know, see what he's doing. But also winning pistols for GX at this point is so scary, because they can rush that op. And once they rush that op on a player like Ara, it just feels like life on hard mode for any team that's going up against them. So this pistol is going to be very, very important. And for BBL, I hope they reset, you know, GG Go Next. There's 5 maps, you know, it's not the end of the world, even if you lose this one. Just ask RQ. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to stop doing that.
No, don't stop.
No, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that. But Sunset, this is where also Billy, BBL should expect that GX wanted to go. You know, they can prep for this even with the little time they had left.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of overnight turnaround of having to prep. But I mean, BBL have enjoyed playing this map as well, so they just need to get into the server and recognize those tendencies coming up from Giant X. We've already highlighted some of them here. I like that we mentioned
Sociable, don't you dare.
There's no way he will. There's no way he will. He's toying with us here. But yeah, I just want them to be able to get a good read on the game to begin with. I think I'm glad that you mentioned pistols as well here, Sue, because we've been praising BBL's pistols all throughout this stage, yet these past couple of weeks, they've just not been up to what the standard usually is for them.
Yeah, I'm just thinking also about the pistols, also about the amazing conversion that Giant X has also after winning those pistols, how strong they go in the bonus. To me, it's a lot about tempo right to start at the gate. We saw how BBL is very fast in the sense, it's a very fast team. I think that Giant X can play with their minds. I hope that they exploit mid and they make BBL make very difficult decisions on how to establish their defense.
And I want Giant X to chill a little bit as well, because Flickless, yes, you can get away with some team flash foolery on a Sen.
He did kill Ara a couple times.
But you can't keep getting away with that, can they, Mitch and Tom?
They can.
Well, only time will tell. Based on what we've seen so far, there didn't seem to be any stopping Giant X, and now they're on their map pick for BBL. One that they managed to win. I checked this time, Tom, yesterday. Rechecked my memory. But it was thanks to Sociable putting up a kill record for Stage 2. He had 36 kills. He was on fire. And that was in regulation as well. I don't think it's fair to put that same pressure on him, but then we have to ask, what will BBL rely on? They need to bounce back here. A decimation on their own pick. If it ends the same here, it'll be 3 chances for GX to lock themselves into champs and lock BBL out.
Yeah, it's worth saying that the same thing happened yesterday. They had a poor start on their own map choice, managed to come back. But I do feel like that extra little bit of confidence for GX is going to be a great sign for them. We've seen the level that this team can perform at already. Now both teams are seemingly starting out on, at least in their last results, their favored side of the map. We'll see if that can play into BBL's hands. Getting that defensive side start, a lot of the pressure initially is going to be put onto Yumpy, waiting on that B side, but look at the rotation already. The defensive side have a good read.
Yeah, players a little bit far behind if this initial fight is taken, and Magnum's already dropped. Now here come the reinforcements. Net already landing. They can't really punish on the back of that. There's players to cover further back. Net's taken out, and an immediate dive towards Yumpy. Full control for GX. They finally lose a fight, but Prophet falls immediately. And Levin's flank now, it will amount to nothing. Even if he finds the first, the whole squad would know he's there, and Westside in such a menace to play against for BBL in map 1. It'll be no difference here.
Yeah, it started off strong with the opener, and from then onwards, it just seems like they're able to pick up the pace so rapidly that there was just no chance for anybody to react. You saw attempted sort of like gamble plays from Yumpy, looking to try and get it off the utility, but you almost wonder if it was worth just trying to buy a little bit of extra time just to let Levin get into a position. That's how we do it, boys. We stay calm and they execute. Instead, though, GX are going to win themselves another pistol round. That is the lot collected so far, and the investment from BBL is almost nothing.
The fundamentals there for GX as well. Every piece of utility thrown through. You look at Ara getting blinded and hit by the net. I don't know how they won that. There's a firing squad down mid, but Ara was in trouble. There was always cover for him there. There's always a second layer, third layer behind. That's what I like to see.
And the gun's already been retrieved as well.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. They'll lose that player early. They've still got a margin for error with Flickless too, so not going to haunt them too much. And it sort of makes me understand why Pipson was calling those pauses so early on. Because if this is what he's been seeing in scrims, if this is evidently what is the potential of GX, it must be frustrating to see them with those early fumbles earlier on in the season.
Oh, we've heard about this squad being scrim gods for quite a while, even last year when things weren't going to plan. Now Cloud with that extra bit of time as a leader. Things have definitely been looking a lot better. Now the net timing here could be everything. A couple of players left in this corner. Playing within the smoke, of course, still only pistols, no weapons to be found just yet. But with that smoke down, they may just opt to try and wrap around. Bear in mind, Yumpy on the other side only has a classic, so getting anything would be nice. And while Westside, he has other ideas.
They've left it late here, but I like the approach. Again, you see that smoke down, you start to wonder, why have they put that there? And they are on the low buy. We've already seen, I mean, something Ara was comfortable with doing, even in those second rounds, was playing inside a smoke with a shorty. No reason to think that's not what you're facing off against there. They do very well on BBL to find that opening, but again, Westside proves to be such an annoyance. He's picking off kill after kill in what could be dangerous scenarios, and they end up being tidied up very nicely.
Let's go,
Another
guys!
solid
Let's
start.
go! Nice! Let's go, boys! Let's go!
Continuing that momentum. This is where BBL, even if you're continuing from the last map, are looking for that combo breaker. We saw them have a stellar defense, 8 rounds versus Liquid, but as you said, it was basically based off one man having a truly unstoppable performance. There needs to be more today, especially. And just look at the pressure already being put through Cloud.
Oh, man.
Just off the back of the drone will catch Yumpy off a wallbang.
His echo location working wonderfully. You heard where that drone was thrown from. That's a big blow in a round like this where there's, I mean, just take a look at the weapons for GX. So many weaknesses, but they don't look to be anything short of strengths for Giant X. They've already found picks aplenty. And although it's recovered on, that's still an advantage for GX. It's weapons down, mid-open, and BBL left with no idea where that hit will eventually come in.
At least for now, it seems like they have the right idea. Sociable getting the info, and again, looks to be the beast on this map, once again! They say lightning never strikes twice, but this man still looks to be the ruler of Sunset. He has got them around once again, but that happened on the last map too.
Well, exactly. He was the one putting up the early round, and well, that was more or less the last heartbeat coming out of BBL. But on this map, we know the heights that he can reach, how deadly the deadlock can be. And that might just light the fire under them. Get BBL back into thinking they can win this one.
I love the nod. He's like, I know who I am. I know what I can do.
There's gonna be plenty more of that.
If you guys could, like, you know, help. Early stuff though. Immediate stun, but they don't check for Prophet. He was sat in the corner, goes for a little bit more and is punished for it. It's a round that, as said, in the last match, GX were able to convert and they were right back to winning ways. And even though the early battles haven't gone badly, BBL have had to give up that space.
Well, no one behind the drone there, thankfully. This was a big swing from BBL. They see that and start to rotate. Magnum peeps out on mid to see who's about. Well, Sociable has managed to fly under the radar. He'll just be tucking in Petra, and with the play coming towards A, maybe that can amount to an early flank. The good thing here, take a look at the utility in play for that attacking side, and they don't have anything to really cover their back beyond the camera, but they do have all the information thanks to the hat off the head. West side, there's Flickless trading out on site, and no connection from Sociable's ulti. That's a big avoid from GX, a 3v2 post plant.
Set them up nicely. Already, they'll spot a man at the back corner, but Grabinio's goal is almost just to bait to allow his teammates to have that cross settled. First shot already goes, and there's the swing. Perfect stuff from GX. Well regimented in their post plant. And well, once more, it's a blip where they lose their bonus, but they are straight back to winning ways.
The annihilation from Sociable, it looked like it was going to connect. He was so close. A pixel or two in the other direction, and maybe he has that. Maybe that turns the tide of the round in their favor, but instead, GX are able to set up into this 3 versus 2.
Nice,
They've got
boys.
time on their side. Tuck in, wait for the push, an immediate punish afterwards. A 3-1 start, and it is reminiscent of the previous map.
Yeah.
As I said, if we see GX start lights out here, a lot of the hope for BBL making it to champion starts to fade. And this round, there should be no contest, really. It's a couple sheriffs, and already it's down to literally a couple, just the 2 of them left.
That seems to be the difference right now. GX have not only got their players hitting individually, but you look at those fundamentals. I'm talking about moments where you have an advantage, you play together as a group, you have those timings off the swings, like those calls have been pretty much perfect all the way through the match. Okay, a flash or two has gone amiss, but that's going to happen sometimes. Sociable will at least get one, but just look at where Yumpy is. I don't think there's any way that he's going to do anything. And you can see it here, how careful they're being, checking all of the angles, making sure there's no cheeky positions that can be found. Come on, the round is over. It's more so, can Yumpy make it costly?
What's truly terrifying about this is yesterday we saw moments where Levin was overextending, like 4v3s given away because he was feeling it. And even on the ISO where I think his ults were honestly horrendous, but the actual round-to-round play was there, the utility was there, but then he would overextend, he would overplay his hand. So far, he's not even drawn the cards to overplay. He's got 2 kills in this series. So far, 0 on this map. He's being shut down. And if it was attack side here, maybe I'd have a little bit more to say. Oh, he's trading out the space and so on. But they are diffing him. And someone like Arrow, who started out this season as, I'll be honest, a bad duelist. It looked like a bad pickup. He was not playing that well. He would have a good map and then a horrendous map. He's now come into form at just the right moment. And we're seeing Levin fade away.
That's what we talk about. It's all about peaking at the right time. And the fact is, Champions is the right time. GX will look at the changes they made, the players they took from the tier 2, and maybe more so the player they took from another team within the VCT.
Standing ahead.
And all of those are paying off right now. West Side and Cloud have been there a little longer than the rest, but Flickless, Arrow, and Grabinho really do look like some of the best signings we've seen. Look at Arrow already. So much space taken. In fact, Grabinho's gone with him.
In fact, he's going to cut the cross. West Side's second death on this map so far. A big hitter for GX down and out, an advantage for BBL to play with. The players on site are under pressure. A split coming through market and backside taken and planted on. With no intention from GX to push further into that setup, they will simply hold the backside. It does leave them a little bit boxed in. It means Magnum can fight from one side, while Profek comes in from another, and 3 players in market. This will be a very quick hit. That ult gave away the position of Flickless. They need a hero to step up on GX, or BBL will be back on the board. Grabinho desperately low and dealt with. And there's Levin sliding through, still showing some confidence. A second finally found.
Yeah, it seems like BBL had a much sort of better read, but also I feel like the communication was good. They lost mid control, but they'd already taken B main in the process, so they were able to hold on to that. I think that one of the players that did the best in that scenario was Magnum, at repositioning, knowing the ground they've lost and knowing the ground that they needed to keep hold of. And that made it so that there was kind of nowhere else for GX to go. I don't mind the use of the Rolling Thunder to sort of push themselves into a gap, but
Come on, boys!
that gap was held. Well, BBL, they are going to get themselves back onto the board, but once again, we've seen moments. We're yet to see a streak.
Something that's really important is when we see Levin finding all that contact there, taking those 2 kills, sliding through for the second. He got fired up. He's not looking dejected. He's not looking shut down. And so many young guns who've had this kind of poor performance at the... Oh, no. Challenging West Side's a dangerous game. I mean, they saw the cam there earlier. Sociable knows who's on the other side, but he wants to show he's the king of Sunset. Yeah. Now, at least he will push West Side back.
Well, this map control is fairly important for the defense. If they can hold on to that, then it means they can gamble elsewhere, have a little bit more control into middle. It seems like maybe after the last round, GX have realized, okay, we can't allow them to have that. But they're going to at least explore the map elsewhere, potentially try and get middle at the same time.
He walled himself in. And as that breaks, I mean, Westside might be thinking that he couldn't be there anymore, but the wall goes up to allow him to retreat. Pit in play.
Oh,
deep
that's
one
the pit.
from Ara, and he's dropped the pit. That's leaving Sociable a little bit more isolated. He has to stand strong as they emerge from the choke point. Low on ammo, low on health, and eventually he will fall. The play on mid, key for Cloud, and at least he'll get one, keeping the numbers even.
Oh, it's a ratty angle, though. Grabinho sat on the edge of the smoke. It's the peaking timing, and what Levin doesn't manage to connect, and now it's left all onto Profek. 1 versus 2. Otherwise, that pretty horrific back and forth will continue. GX could extend their lead, and to be honest, from this point, should. They've managed to make it back into main. So many angles that Profek needs to clear, so many positions that he would have to get past before he can even look towards any of these players. And with that spike already ticking a decent amount, the stun going through, he's avoided it, but they don't need to swing this. They don't need to get aggressive. Again, the control that GX are showing in these post plants is sublime. They deserve their lead.
Without a doubt, You know, there's many games that you see be this one-sided, and I'm taking into account the first map, and you think, well, this is just the other team making mistakes across the board. What are they thinking? That there's such simple solutions to this. A Gordian not, all they need to do is slice through, but they refuse to draw their sword, but that's not the case here. It's been nothing but sharp gameplay from GX from start to finish. They're looking clean, they're playing together, there's always layers to the peaks they're going for, and it's night and day to the squad that we saw starting out this season that we imagined we would see here today.
Standing ahead. Well, a hero rifle saved over for Prophet. It's gone immediately. Hunter's Fury used alongside it. And that's already going to get the tag onto Magnum, the one piece of the puzzle that they had in this round. The only other is the overdrive, and guess what? That's gone as well. Ara feeling confident. Just look how dominant these rounds are becoming. They're even managing their orbs as well. They delay the plant to make sure that extra ultimate orb can be grabbed by Cloud. I'm off for Sociable. Maybe he gets one. But this is what I'm talking about when I mean control. Like, there's nobody over-facing, nobody getting too aggressive. Maybe once the time ticks a little bit, they'll consider it, but even still, it's going to be another in-zone flawless. We've had so many of them throughout this series so far. GX just looking like a different beast.
And this is where, again, we get towards those panic stations. We saw it at 6-1 on the previous. But Tom, we talk about this map, you said, at least at an eye test, it looks like this is the better half for both of these teams. This is the favored side, and on the defense, there has been not much to report back on, other than that the attackers are dominantly winning most of the rounds, that they look clean on GX, and no surprise that BBL are going to call for that timeout. They've now got a few ultis, they've got weapons, and if they fumble this round, the lead going to GX already looks so daunting.
Yeah, it feels very difficult for them to try and turn this. I'll be honest, and a lot of that is because I'm just impressed with what GX are actually doing. They have seemingly a set game plan to get them into sites, and then their post plants, I can't fault any of them. Like, every single one, if they have an advantage, the conversion has been there. They've been spectacular in that manner. Now, sure, there have been games that we've seen, like versus Mates, for example, where we have had BBL turn it on the attack. Like, I think with both of these teams, it's not like a done deal. But it's nothing to do with that at this stage. I think GX have just come in today looking like the more well-regimented team from top to bottom. Everybody's performing, and I'm yet to see the same sort of form coming out of BBL. And it's getting to the point where, well, unless we are going to have Pacific and EMEA giving us reverse sweeps, that this might be too late anyway.
Well, that's what Kakuka wanted. She wanted to see what seemed to be a clear 3-0, and then it comes back. So, if anything, blame Kakuka for this one. This has been an incredible performance from GX, really and truly. The team I saw at the start of the year I didn't think would be making this deep of a run, let alone looking this good on what could be the game that qualifies them to champions the first time since 2023, and they are hungry for it. Big pickup, though. It's a couple picks for BBL as they find the ult, but GX answer back immediately. By the time Sociable's ult finally claims Westside, Yumpy, Sociable, and Magnum are gone. This is a disaster. They just called a pause, Tom, and I think you look at what that means for BBL. It's panic stations. It's trying to fix the flaws. It's trying to patch the holes before too much water's taken in, while GX, they get to say, okay, we prepped our first 6 or 7 rounds. Everything went great. What are the new ideas, coach? And they get to approach it from a position of calm, and evidently that has worked wonders.
Yeah, I think as well, like, even just look at this round. Like, a lot of the time when somebody gets caught by the annihilation, you're going to have a moment where you're spamming in towards that ultimate to try and save your teammate. Ara was not doing that. He was taking space, he was fighting the remaining players, he was trying to remove those threats. And sure, here and there, there's a couple of exit kills for the side of BBL, but when you look at the economy and how much it's thriving for GX, they're not going to mind too much. They just wanted to remove those guns.
I see that ult connect and think this is their chance, but look how quickly BBL run through that smoke to try to follow up on the back of it, and nobody clears the left side. Ara is just given free real estate to take 2 picks. and bring them way into the lead. In fact, they don't even need to commit to getting Westside out of the cocoon because they're too busy shooting all the players. GX 7-2. Fabinho's feeling confident. Yeah. He's even meeting up with Ara here. The flank around a little too late, but a chance for Prophet for Magnum as well. Okay, it's one of the better starts we've had for BBL.
And that doesn't mean we're going to have the greatest of finishes. The spam actually doing more damage onto Fabinho. I think Prophet has done well in moments to sort of hold on to that spawn control. This has been one of the better scenarios we've had. I think Levin, with the ultimate online as well, means that he could take that extra little bit of space. It's going to make it difficult for Fabinho to hold on here because that ultimate should just fry him, but he's trying to reposition to almost give his teammates opportunities. Ara is the first point of contact. Flickless trying to set him up with additional utility. Now Ara in that corner is going to be removed. A much cleaner scenario for BBL. They are back onto the board, but once again, Mitch, going to sound like a broken record. They are yet to streak any rounds together.
Yeah, it's a flash in the pan so far, but they haven't been cooking. And I think for GX, you see here again, good delay, but BBL's response, that's inspiring a little bit more confidence. Paranoia fault line go through. They stop 2 iterations of pushes, but BBL approach it together. They come in, flood the site, Magnum's left to market while everyone else comes from spawn. And that's what gives them the advantage against the scattered forces of GX, overwhelming those individuals. And again, the op of Levin finding something. But so many of these factors that we look at for BBL is almost always being online, like Levin, have not been there consistently. Yumpy's having a really tough game, and with 3 rounds on the board, we need to see them show up. This could still be a 7-5 half, and then we can forget how dominant it looked at the start. But if GX win these last 2, it's again going to be a gauntlet for BBL to run to just get back into the map.
Bear in mind, throughout this series so far, BBL have 5 rounds, and none of them have been in tandem with each other. They have all been singular rounds. So right now, there's a chance for GX to take us straight back to regular programming and make us forget that these individual rounds even happen. They have ground themselves to a halt at early default. I think the rounds that they've lost have been going into that spawn hit and getting surrounded by the BBL players. The more direct takes, other than a sociable 4K, have succeeded every single time. And once again, they look to go for this B split.
Prophet spotted ahead, but he can't quite connect the kill. Paranoia ready, though, for this play coming in through the market. Magnum still loses the duel. Ara was blinded up near-sided and somehow still wins that. I don't think he was close enough to see. And another for Ara. He is dominating. Running through the site. He's going to run through this smoke, I feel, standing there as he did before with a shorty in hand, waiting for an invader of the smoke. As it fades, I think we might see Yumpy in that corner fade too. Paranoia is good, slows down the push once more, but this time GX have the numbers. And as Yumpy steps forward, he'll find one. But Ara's itching for this fight. It'll be a 3-man swing when he finally gets contact. Ara with a 3rd, but he's shut down. Yumpy, we said he had to show up. He's had 4 already. A chance for all 5. The read is right, but the bullets, he's out of ammo. Fabinho shuts it down in the end. It looked like that could have been it. The return to form for BBL, but it's the same old story with GX winning the round.
If he had aced it with 1 bullet, it would have been one of the most crazy clutches we've ever seen. But again, Fabinho is that safe pair of hands, sits 10 and 6, only behind the aggressor of Ara. Oh, it was close to being something special. But close doesn't win anything. 8-3.
Scanning ahead.
And already that is as bad as start goes. Hunter's Fury thrown in. Magnum will be there to even things up immediately. A much more aggressive fight at the beginning of this round. But the second that is noted by GX, they group up.
Well, all but Westside. Was a man happy playing on his own.
I know exactly where you are.
Old top. Westside now knows where these players are. He can sense out the gaps. And it will be an immediate push towards this B site. Rolling Thunder stops them, pushes them off the site. BBL locked out as a plant comes through. Could be an attempt from Levin to quickly reclaim that space. It looks like that's exactly what we're getting. Ara on the other side, and Ara delivers the double! The nail in the coffin of this half for BBL. As they seem to be locked out, and it's this man doing the heavy lifting. 17 and 7. Maybe 18 by the time we finish. This has been a masterclass from Ara, from GX. And the desolation of BBL continues into map number 2.
Yeah, it's just been a phenomenal half from him individually. We spoke about Sociable as Thanos, but at the moment he's the one that's getting snapped. We'll have to see if there's anything left in the tank for BBL. Otherwise it could be 2-0 after the break.
Your body knows. A sense of victory. Seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. Designed to win.
Nine on the board as we come back in. It's one better than what we saw in the previous map. But yeah, a game of inches perhaps for BBL. But they are miles behind. 6 rounds in it, and a pistol round again could put GX on the finish line with just one step to take. And if they do claim this map, as we said, a reverse sweep needed for BBL, or after being one round away from locking in champions just yesterday. They will be watching the tournament from home, and that has got to be, it's one thing to miss out on the event, but missing out by 1 round and bombing out of the lower bracket, that's something you'll carry with you to your deathbed.
That's the thing. For GX, they were a team that I believe at no stage could have made it on points. Well, once it made anywhere near the playoffs, they needed a crazy run all the way through. And that crazy run is looking like a reality. More and more as the rounds go on. Ara has definitely hit championship form. A chance for his first ever champions, but there is a recovery. A 3v3. Pistol not done just yet, but bear in mind GX have won all of them so far. And Magnum will meet the same fate.
1 enemy remaining.
Okay, Rubinho left alone. A loss here for BBL, that's it. I mean, we might as well pack up. Rubinho, 12 and 7, had a good game, still relatively healthy coming into this fight. The 2 versus 1, one of the best chances with the plant now in their favor. They're playing backside 2, it's going to confuse Rubinho. This looks way more like it's a plant for main, but it is a little open. He's suspicious, and now he's down to 12 HP. That should be it done. No chance anymore. A paranoia held by Profek as well for the second that entry comes out. Although they've just cleared it, and they've missed the boat. He's managed to thread the needle right through. He's going to sneak up. This could be a freebie on 1. He's looking the wrong way, but so is Profek. Now it's a 1v1. Yumpy, he failed the clutch. The 1v1 against this very man in the previous half, but now's his time to put up a round. Halfway defused already. It's stuck by Rubinho, but Yumpy won't let it fly a second time.
It's a lifeline. That's about all we can say for BBL thus far. It is a lifeline, but a well-needed one. Ara started this round off so well, honestly. This man has been unstoppable in this lower bracket run. A player to fear, no doubt about it.
Come on, boys! Come on, boys!
They
At least managed to get themselves their first pistol of the series. A conversion should be fairly likely. Only a single sheriff in hand for Grabinho. He's in the right place at the right time, but yeah, I was about to say, if they don't check that box, I think we just end it here. They have cleared it. Orb to be gained. With a post plant, with 4 classics on the other side, there's even a question of, do GX just die to the spike?
Yeah, it could be the play. Deny some of those orbs, so many valuable ults on the side of BBL. There's something about Ara against BBL that he seems to hit another level. I think back to the second game of this stage, when they played their opening, he was mid, I think less than average. Then they come up against BBL, he drops 31 kills on Lotus. He was massively positive in the series overall, including map 1. Big reason why they were able to win that. It goes back to middling after. I don't know if he's just got like some sort of grudge against Pal, but he certainly shows up for these games. 9-5 though, BBL starting to heat back up, starting to find their footing, starting to connect some rounds.
Yeah, that is the first time that they have managed to win 2 rounds in a row in this series thus far. It's not a great stat, but at least that trend has been broken. I'd say as well, like, if you go back to that early stage, I might have agreed, but I now think that Ara's probably added 3 or 4 more teams to the list.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't like them either. Maybe he doesn't like anyone, because it really has been impressive, his rise to form. And in this map especially, but let's be real, now we head into that defensive side. This is where Westside becomes more scary. This is where he has setups. This is where, well, we just saw a post about whether he's the best Sentinel in EU if we don't count Nats, which I'd probably agree with if we're not counting Nats, but maybe a little bit of a way to go to get the #1 overall.
Oh, well, Ara was setting himself up to take Magnum, but he's already been dropped. An immediate flood back in from GX to back site. Cloud and West side, one blinded, but the other still more than capable of hearing all the ruckus going on. Sociable's looking the wrong way. I think he even heard the steps of Grabinho. That's a big mistake. The advantage is piling up in favor of GX, and sure, they connected 2 rounds in a row, but that was off the pistol. Once there's weapons back in the hands of GX, it is regularly scheduled broadcast for us. Double digits secured. GX just a few strikes away from taking Sunset.
Yeah, it's a bonus, but it was a strong bonus as well. So I don't even think we can look at that and go, okay, they got a kill or 2, that's not bad, because ultimately there were moments in the rounds where you looked at it and go, okay, if they can find a gap there. I'll say as well, Magnum has had a fair few moments in this match where I'm looking at it and going, was that gamble worth it? Like, trying to take that space, we saw it, I think, in the first half as well, swinging into mid when there's 3 players waiting for him there. Especially on this defensive, on this attack half, him having those lurks.
Cover going out.
We need to see more. More GX. Definitely going into this defensive side. It has been the attack where they've got the majority of their round in recent games, but they are no slouches. That's not a bad start, though. Spoke about the Sentinel of Westside. He's gone, and you know what? Cloud will join him.
I think that's the first opening duel we've seen Levin find in this series. Compared to Ara, who I think is 10-4, somewhere around that margin.
Not bad.
He's been doing bloody well. And Levin immediately following up with a second BBL, storming the site, finding the plant, finding the round. This is what we want to see, a confidence builder for them. And this map is far from over. It just gets worrying thinking about how the previous went, thinking about how the rounds that they've won, some of them have been close. And they've been flashes in the pan. The rounds that GX won, they look repeatable. It's all fundamentals playing together, whether it's in retakes or on the other half, pushing into sites. It looked like the most the BBL could put up. It was never a roadblock. It was a speed bump. And GX just took the airtime as they hit it hard.
Well, the remaining 2 players are going to be able to hold on to their guns. And I think that should allow them a purchase going into the next round. A couple of players with a bit of cash to spare. Flickless should be able to drop one. Does mean there's going to be no break just yet for BBL, but I think as well something you mentioned earlier in the match, just seeing Levin having a round that I think you can ultimately say he won. because they have been few and far between where we've really seen this guy have the same impact that we know he can have.
Hit them fast, hit them hard.
Like I said, I think that was literally his first opening duel, but something to build on, perhaps for him. Immediate aggression from Ara. Cloud's following it up, and BBL just cannot catch a break. They finally win around with flying colors, and immediately the mast is ripped from the ship. GX 4 versus 2.
There's some ults here, though. That Annihilation could potentially isolate one. Hunter's Fury being used. That gives the space. That's not a bad start.
Nice.
Not going to be able to connect anything further. Yumpy not wanting to take that risk. But with Annihilation available, that could be another drop. Now, they already know there's going to be players here, but there isn't a position that I feel like Sociable can use it from. He does immediately. He's waiting, but Grabinho is just that little bit quicker. Now Yumpy's left to do it all. One being pulled away. He finds that first kill, and he will get it as well! A Red Bull clutch! BBL finally have something to celebrate. A 2v4 victory in a round that looked dead.
Yeah, thankfully Sociable uses the Annihilation onto Ara. If that catches anyone else, the form Ara's on, this one might have been done in their favor. That early fight just nuts, and then they try to punish, but Cloud is there. But what a recovery. Sociable finding the pick, getting the ult, and then landing it perfectly, leaving the IGL alone, but he delivers.
Well, he started
he got loud.
1 and 10, right? Yumpy?
1 and 10, yep.
He's now 9 and 13. The 4K that wasn't quite an ace definitely helped with that, but we know that when the blood gets pumping for BBL, they are a different beast, but even still, there is no doubt in my mind that, as you said, those are repeatable rounds. There's only been one victor, and that team is still 3 rounds in the lead.
Yeah, they have a buffer to work with, but this should be BBL's chance to build again on that previous round. They've got rifles, they're up against pistols. GX.
And an overdrive.
Stacking towards the B site. Yes, the overdrive from Ara actually probably the most terrifying of all. If BBL choose correctly, there is an easy site take towards the A site. Of course, we can see that. They certainly can't, I hope. They are making the right call. The problem is rotations have come in already. Ara's there, but those steps are heard. Magnum knows that the presence now is towards this A side. He's pinging for it as well, and they're just going to rotate back, take that space towards Market, and put all the pressure onto West side. Great read from BBL.
Ult should run out before it has any impact as well. Magnum gets the timing. It is definitely a gamble. TP into the back of the site. They're going to try and bolster this up, but again, it's only weaker weapons here. Those Sheriffs need to start landing. Oh, the spike has made its way onto the site. Still yet to be planted already. One for Grabinho, a second for Grabinho. He's been having a great game. He might even look for a little more, a third one. This shouldn't be possible. Magnum at least dropping one more, but Grabinho is still standing. Magnum may even have to ace it just to drag them through the round, and Ara has now found himself a rifle, but he has been spotted. That second player catching him in a net. All that time ticking away for Ara, trying to bait them into the fight once again. Magnum doesn't want to fall for it, doesn't want to turn this into a 1 versus 1, and well, he won't get the ace, but boy, he's not going to care. That got way too dangerous. And Grabinho, well, they did a good job there.
A bloody good job. They came into that with the right read, Tom. They went towards the site that only had one player after baiting rotations to the A site, after Magnum hearing those rotates, then catching the play back in the other direction. In terms of the early round, every single piece of the puzzle came together for BBL, and they still almost fumbled it. A big play needed by Magnum. He gets 4 kills. If he doesn't, if he whiffs even one of those shots, gives Grabinho a second bite of the cherry, and that round goes to GX. This is worrying because, again, we need to see that comeback. It's only a 2-round gap now, but we know how quickly GX can run away with things.
One thing I'll say for BBL, they're one of the few teams that I actually think winning rounds like that is better for them. Like, you see them screaming, you see them getting pumped up, those players that have maybe had quieter games, adding a tally, adding a round that they can call theirs. That's the only worry I really have for GX. Like I said, if you're talking about who has been the better team, I don't think it's arguable, but who's building into this map now? Well, that's BBL.
It all comes down to this round in my mind. This is where GX stand a chance to recover. Now already the door being broken and Market stopped the drone from going through. It delayed the rotates of GX, so they're a little bit behind the play. It means pressure towards the backside for Westside, who does pick up one, but Rubinho trying to help out in the smoke goes down. Backup comes in, and in fact, backup is the name of the game for GX. They step past the smokes, and then Westside runs through them. He's already picked up 3. It's mayhem on the site as Westside answers up with another, and Cloud steals the ace away, but as Angel says, a win's a win, a round's a round, and for GX, that's one step closer to securing this map.
They brought it close in the last one. But Westside, I said, the terrifying thing of going into this defensive half is that you have to walk into this man's realm.
No!
He's proven himself.
Nice, Westy! Nice, Westy!
As one of the best Sentinels in the region right now. Well, because of that, BBL need to take a pause. A chance to talk things through. The deficit they had coming out of the first half was massive. It's still pretty decent. Three rounds to the good for GX. But I think even on our side, there is a part that's starting to have some belief that it's possible.
And that is everything. That's what I've heard from one side of the stage. This timeout.
What do you hear from the other side?
I can't say it on air. Their mottos are for behind closed doors only. But a 3-round gap, it is a hell of a recovery. It's a damn sight better than what we saw in a set. And from 9-3 down, I agree with you. They're the ones building up into this. This timeout is where things need to course correct. And typically, I mean, coming out of timeouts, it's not a stat I think I've seen before for any team, but BBL certainly feel like one of those teams that has the highest success rate once they call that timeout of putting rounds on the board. That round at least directly afterwards. And we've even seen it in this series. Think back to Ascent. Problem was they found one and immediately GX went back to winning ways.
But the other problem they have here is this feels like almost all their credits on the line.
Yep. Do or die.
Yumpy's left on a stinger, considering one of the rounds was almost brought individually by him. And on the other side, well, Operator in play, Hunter's Fury, credits to spare. It is Beast versus potential Famine. If BBL lose this round, it might just be the end of the map.
Slow approach from BBL, the net cast wide. Nothing caught just yet as GX are playing so passive, void of information. And we actually saw this in the previous round where they were just keen. At one stage they thought about putting a drone through.
Oh!
And I said about slow and steady, that's anything but. Hunter's Fury thrown through. I don't know what gave away.
Drone. I think it was drone.
Oh, Yumpy activated the drone, immediate response. That's unlucky, to say the least. The pit, though, this could recover something for BBL, but now they're way behind, having to fight their way through, and Flickless keeping up the trading game. Caught with an arrow out. He almost won that. Magnum's down to 13 HP, and the pit will fall. Sociable soon to follow with 12 seconds left. He needs to plant, and he's surrounded. 12-8. The beginning of the end for BBL.
Yeah, GX. They're going from strength to strength. Dealing with Westside has been nightmare fuel. And yeah, that is it. Look, drone used.
Awful.
And off the contact of the drone, Cloud knows exactly where he's using it from. That is just a perfect read to get rid of the initiator from the opposing side. I was going to say, like, whenever I see the Hunter's Fury in Cloud's hands, I'm always nervous. I think that's why we saw the slower round. If you go aggro, he's going to hit you with it. Instead, you lose your initiator off the fake. It also reveals that there's nobody else there, and that allows them to gamble back on the other side. Perfect use of a singular ultimate that wins GX around. And well, as said, just look at what's left for BBL. It is a jumble sale buy.
And looking at last round as well, just to say, I'll always criticize a Viper leaving the Viper's pit. I think it's one of the worst plays. Magnum had to. They were too far behind. They needed a pick. Arrow with another opening here as Magnum falls. And Ara might be under pressure, but he's got his wall to get out. No intention of doing so, though. Still tucked in the corner as Grabinho holds down short. Now Ara steps up with the op again to drop Yumpy. And although he falls, it's a 4v2 that he's left his team in. A chance to have 3 maps in a row where any one win will lock them in for champions. What a return to form, a reawakening of GX. Sociable all that stands between them. And he will fall quickly at 13-8. GX 2-0, 1 map away from seeing that trophy in person.
Yeah, they have looked impressive through both of these maps. Fundamentals have been on point. They have definitely looked like the better side. And while, as you said, they're going to have themselves a few more opportunities. They need 1 map. BBL, they need all 3.
Well played, first map, okay boys? That's what we needed on the first map. And on second we will get it as well.
Remind, best of 5 is a marathon game. It's marathon.
Just need to keep your head cool.
Don't get overwhelmed by good emotions as well.
Be cool, stay humble, okay? Or stay cool, be humble.
Be humble, stay cool. Sit down.
But only one gets the title of champion.
Your body knows. A sense of victory. Seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. Designed to win.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Game Changers. It's about competition, pure happiness. It's like a crazy experience. We're making history. It means so much to us. It's good to be back.
I guess you know what I've been looking for 6 years.
The beauty of gaming is it doesn't matter who you are. And as long as I'm good enough,
Everybody's getting a 4K.
I can go as far as I want.
That's what I like to see, baby.
全世界都会知道我们的厉害。
Tough guy, the hell go your Sotomanga. 이제는 시시해 gunfight. I brought a blade. They forgot to shade. That just a wall, my bogey fade. 빛이 보여 네 bandits. 끝없는 내 rampage. 이게 나니까 저지 can't change. 내게 나서 plan B, you're plan A. 바꿔 pain of a champion into champagne. Broken and bruised. What's left to lose? Here on the edge of forever. If I never break, I'll never fly.
I cannot believe what I'm about to say, but Giant X are one map away from Champions Paris. I'm your host, so I've got Billy and Kakuka. Is this real?
It is.
Am I dreaming?
It is very real. I think that this stage 2 has seemed like a fever dream, but yeah, Giants are one map away.
Wow.
And I think also the way in which they're doing it says a lot about them. Like we're hearing it on the comms, they're trying to stay calm through every situation, even when they are getting these advantages and they're hitting these insane rounds, they want to take it easy.
They're doing it with style. Like you can clearly see there's like a big energy difference between each of the teams right now. And if you're BBL, you need to be able to bounce back into this one. That last map was really difficult to watch, I think. I mean, the first 2 maps have been really difficult to watch for any of the BBL fans out there. Look at the amount of times that Giant X were able to get the spike down and BBL could do nothing about it.
And also if you look at the bottom, and something that Tom and Mitch were highlighting as well, the fact that BBL was just unable to get 2 rounds in a row for every single new idea that they had. Giant X also had a new plan. We saw a lot of like trying with different vibe walls, different approaches onto the map, and the back and forth just ended up on the side of Giant X.
Yeah, and I also love just the constant people doubting Grubby. I think from his entire Tier 1 career has been people having doubts about him, having whispers
but then
about
when we
what
speak to players, they always speak very highly
Yeah,
of
they
him,
rate him
right?
so high. And I can see why, because even after some of the performance we saw of him yesterday, Kakuka, my goodness, this is beautiful Omen gameplay.
There is some of the things, like when we speak about keeping it calm, keeping it quiet, it has to be Groovy. Sometimes he's just doing the dirty work. Some of his smokes, the paranoias that he's throwing have so much effect. Like, look at the positions that he puts everybody in. There's so many of these occasions, even rounds that he didn't win. It's his individual brilliance, especially the utility that he's using, both in Ascent, but now cemented here in Sunset.
The thing as well is sometimes it's just completely off intuition as well, which is so impressive. And you know, we speak about teams requiring that traditional smoker, which Groovy has been for this team. And the whole concept of this team is this kind of traditional composition. So Groovy has fit into that so nicely this stage.
And I like the way that, you know, they all remind each other, you know, let's calm down, let's chill, let's be humble. We haven't won yet, you know, and the job is not even done, because if they win tomorrow, they have a grand final to prepare for tomorrow too. But the job could be done though if they win bind. This is a big if. I think this is where things are going to get weird for both teams. Things, Billy, potentially get a little bit scrappy for both teams as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think as well, when you're looking at BBL and the composition that they play on bind, having that double duelist, if you're performing at this moment in time with this kind of performance, it's really difficult to psych yourself back up and be able to go in full aggression the way that you would expect that composition to be played, especially when we think about Levin playing that ISO. He's not tapping heads right now, so I want him to go into this and treat it as if he would treat a deathmatch.
Yeah, and I think also that for the bind that we saw yesterday in this composition, we spoke about, oh my god, Team Liquid love bind. You know that it is likely going to happen and you can drive them into that direction. So this is not something that they can change from one day to another. So I think that for today, yeah, of course, Levin has to step up. For Giant X, this is not a map that they've loved. The last time that we saw them play, and it was here in playoffs, it was against Navi. Navi actually loves the bind they've always had, and I wonder if they're going to keep what they were playing. Maybe they're going to go back in their steps a little bit. Maybe too much innovation for Giant X.
Yeah. I mean, hear me out. Is there a world where BBL just go back to their previous comp?
That's what I was saying. I don't think so, because as I said, like, you prepared something for this week. I think that there were a lot of tells and a lot of mistakes that I hope don't happen again. But again, that bind was super interesting and super fun. I don't think they need fun right now.
I don't know if that's the right word.
It was fun to watch.
It was fun to. I don't know.
It was also heart-aching to watch in the way that they.
Fun to watch.
Like, bro, they choked that map.
Boo smiled. We got a boo reaction. That's how crazy that map was.
He's not here today.
It doesn't matter, but that's what I mean. Like, it was a crazy map.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
For me, it's like I don't want CS fans to watch that map and think that's what Valorant is about. You know what I mean? I don't want like those tweets to come out. But it is going to be very crucial, because BBL's only way to make champs from here on is a reverse sweep. Now, I'm not going to mention RRQ, she says, as she mentions RRQ, but it is possible. You can do it. We have seen, God knows we've seen it happen in EMEA. There has been reverse sweeps this year, last year, you know, we have seen it before. But just how likely do you think it is for BBL?
They have to really want it. Everything's at stake. Their whole year is at stake here. And from me, yeah, it's just a case of how determined are you to be able to make it to champs. You have the impossible task of being able to reverse sweep when Giant X have the momentum right now. But when you look at the players that have worked all this year, they need to want it.
things that I want from this map if this reverse is going to happen. Sociable, the man in your screen, he's having a good day, okay? Like, he just played the Sunset, he's going to be playing the Euro when we speak about the ISO. Maybe the Euro can balance things out, maybe put in 11 in different situations to maybe make those plays, can give them the confidence. Every single round that we see, even if Yappy is not having the best day, he's standing up, he's trying to cheer them up. They need to keep that going.
They do indeed. And for me, honestly, if Sociable is shooting, there is a world he can carry. We saw it yesterday, not out of the question at all. But on the other side, if a GX, it just feels that they just need to chill. If they can just chill and play the way they have played so far, it should be okay. And my God, okay.
They're gone back.
Yeah, they've gone back. Do we like this from GX?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the KO Unbind, and I think they weren't either. I think that this fits them a little bit more. I think that Ruby can shine a lot in the Astra always, so it's always a comfort for him. I want to see a little bit what Westside has here on the Deadlock. We don't see it as often anymore here in EMEA.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm looking to see that interaction of the ISO and the Yoru versus this double controller. How much can they actually be able to push through that? I think having the KO would have been able to stop any sort of explosiveness, but like you say, Westside on the Deadlock, he's been performing well all day. I think that that's just as good as an answer.
I want to see if Magnum is going to be lurking around. I think that he took some risks on Sunset. Maybe not with the effect that he expected, but he also had some very key rounds. So I need to see somehow BBL needs to find comfort in this attack.
Is that the somehow? Is that all it takes? Just the somehow if they could do this?
I honestly think that Levin just needs a couple of good rounds. Like on Sunset there was like one, but I think that he needs to feel like he's making a change, that there is a justification to be playing the ISO, putting the shields at the right time, using the utility to help your team, especially the barrier to just go onto the sides and play for you.
I think as well, I need to see the team come together, because something that Giant X have done today is the fundamentals have been insane, whereas BBL, it's not been there for a team that's been together all year.
Well, BBL, they have to win here, Mitch and Tom, otherwise their year will end here.
Well, that road is looking pretty short for GX now. Just one more map needed. 3 chances to lock in their spot on the international stage. And thinking about that, the first time since 2023, we'll see GX at Champions if they can do it. And leaving BBL in the dust after being 1 round away from locking in their own spot in that upper bracket. It's going to be heartbreak on one side of the stage either way, and the question is, does it end here on Bind?
Everything will be answered soon. I'm definitely nervous for BBL, not even just considering how the last couple of maps has gone, but you're going into a composition that really derives off individual brilliance and flair. You're talking about Levin, he got aggressive in moments, but was fantastic in others. He is 9-31 in this series so far. Like, this is easily the worst performance we've seen from him so far this year, and he is already dead. Within seconds, Flickless has taken him down Westside. We've now seen him switch up as well. But it seems like there is no change. Another strong start to the map. Well, a 2v5 needed.
All the info there. Gerbino's heard the steps. He knows he can isolate a duel. Moving towards the spawn, he'll do so with ease. And the final player falls at his hands too. An end zone flawless to kick off map number 3. BBL 10 rounds in 2 maps. They need to do a damn sight better than that. And their stats on pistol rounds, Tom, they're taking a big hit in this series.
Yeah, honestly, it might be lower than 50% from the playoffs at least. It's definitely not been the same sort of showing that we've seen from them, but I think you need to highlight how good GX have been within this series of them. Westside of Flickless, their crossfire seems so difficult to deal with. Amar Levin, as I said, I was literally talking about how I feel like when you go into an agent like ISO, okay, optimistic, you need to have that same level of confidence in your own individual ability, and he's just been getting wrecked. Well, rotation back towards the A site. This stack up of utility is going to be so difficult to deal with, like having not only the poison orb in play to slow you down, leave you low, but then you've got sensors to deal with. I'm liking the change of composition, and more so I'm just liking what Westside is able to do. Again, this combo, the same as the first round. It's another in-zone flawless. Our sponsors are going to be very happy with GX.
Yeah, happy with Westside in that round. 5-0 start for him. 0 deaths on the board on one side of the stage, and if you're talking about the BBL resurgence, this isn't how you wanted it to start. Of course, you're going to take risks in a round like this. That TP is terrible, but the relying factors that they're playing that little bit deeper towards Lamps.
One enemy remaining.
A risk taken we won't see in the future, but Westside, he has proven to just be such a demon. We talked about him throughout the regular season, highest headshot percentage. You see a Sheriff in his hand, and the round might not go your way, but it's evolved to the point if you see anything in his hand, if this man's drawing breath, don't count your eggs before they've hatched.
Oh, a bonus round that has got some serious weight to it. Rifles across every single player. A couple of light shields. Here goes Levin. He's trying to challenge that setup once again, but thus far it's been a nightmare. Those sensors, they're trying to sprint through them, but then they're met by running into the poison orb, and Flickless just spamming through his own utility. There are trades to be had, though.
Oh, nice try by Ara to get through the wall, but they're watching for it. BBL not going to let this one slip with ease. It's Magnum on the double, and BBL on the board. That's what we like to see early on.
Yeah, I think as well that the worry when you have a utility setup like that has the sort of poison orb and the sensors, you show it too much respect, you lose the game. So the fact that they managed to basically just send it through everything and still manage to win the round, I'll be honest, it's quite impressive. Like, it should be tough to get through a scenario like that. And more importantly, Levin, already a couple of kills onto the board. As said, it came into this map 9 and 31. Even's not so bad.
Hell of a way to go out if they do end up losing here on Bind as well. This is where their dreams were crushed in the upper bracket run by Team Liquid, by Nats. A real villain up against this squad, and we'll see if there is another to be found, this time on the side of GX. Ara's been a monster up against this squad. Westside sights have seemed impenetrable at times. For BBL, they beat the Force Spy, but starting out this one, you talked about Levin. Success he had early on here, well, he's already been put to bed in the first buy round from GX.
This is the tough thing with this composition. Like, you have so much in terms of delay. Poison Orb, Westside's utility, Astra utility. That's not bad, though. Westside being deleted. Flickless trying to regain that control, but the smoke's kind of holding him off. The control instead has come out the other side, and Cloud spraying wildly is actually going to get rid of Yumpy. He's done well there. The spam's going their way, but Magnum swinging in from behind. Might have just saved them. A couple of kills. There's another to be had. And Magnum coming alive, giving it down to 1. But that 1 was the man that put them in the dirt. The previous map, Magnum's done well. He spotted out that player. They can now take this fight to the other side of the map. They can reposition completely. Magnum watching for the swing! Oh, it is so close from Ara! Oh, there is a moment where he ends that round. Just 16 HP for Profek.
That could have been real heartbreak. A 3-1 start again for GX, but it's denied. And you got to look at Magnum, a player who, again, in their last game here on Bind, where it was do or die, it was the final map of the series. He made some blunders. We saw him going into overtime, miss his orb, run through his own snakebite and get dealt with easily while vulnerable on a solo push through land.
This is early.
The pressure got to him, but he won't let it happen this time. And look, we talked about this. GX not using a single timeout throughout this. They haven't needed it. They've been winning, and when they needed a timeout to maybe set up the rest of the half, they used their opponents. But now, back to the Pipson signature move of an early
I'll be honest, I know that this won't be everybody's cup of tea, but this is how I like to see the pauses used. Like, I think that Pipson is so proactive with his pause usage, and a lot of the time he is correct. Like, he's choosing moments where, okay, sure, the game's not gone, it's not out of control, but I think he likes to use that first one early to sort of like maybe fix some initial problems and maybe spot a few things that he's seeing, and then the last one will be, okay, now things are going badly wrong. I genuinely don't mind that. I think it works well, at least for his team.
Nothing will ever make me agree with the 3-0 down on split at Tackside. early timeout. I mean, again, it comes down to how you prep. And I don't know how Pipson preps, but I know that most people will have those early rounds planned out. And from that point, unless your players are completely ignoring your playbook and you need to come in and get the whip out, I don't think that there's much benefit to them that your players can come to on their own. But let's see if Pipson's got a response. Of course, he's called it early as well, in the sense that they're not going into a buy round, but we'll see this from a lot of coaches, using this pistol to give you the best chance you can, or maybe even information find, test the reactions of your opposition. Already snakebite down, that's going to cancel out the shield of Levin, so if they can buy a little bit of time, that shield won't be coming back online. He wanted the chance to convert it after a kill, and the wall bought them a lot of time. Very nicely done.
Yeah, that's what I think this comp has really been built around, is how much delay they can cause. Because, you know, the BBL like to be explosive. They like to be very direct in their takes. So if you have mollies on either side of the map, nades, as said, all of those smokes, and the Senti of Westside, there really is a lot that can slow down a very direct push. Now, bear in mind, Annihilation is available. Viper's pit one away. I can't imagine that's coming into this round. But they now do have a couple of players already trying to rotate early. It's an early trade. There goes that ultimate being utilized, and actually saving that player is too much of a risk. Flickless, well positioned, and well now, it comes down to a 2v2, 25 seconds left. Westside hadn't been dealt with on the side. He wins the 5 versus Profek, and now all that remains, Sociable. He's being flanked on as well. Doesn't realize the second player is behind Arrow. He's one shot to this Outlaw, but he's gonna try and make it down silently.
10 seconds left.
May have got a little bit further than expected coming up from above. There is no hope here for Sociable. And well, I don't know if Pipson will have expected the pause to work so soon, but they have turned it back immediately with a pay save card, Thrifty.
As I've always said, Tom, a huge fan of Pipson's early timeouts. I think he just does a great job at course correcting it. And you really want to use them early to get on the board rather than waiting till, I don't know who would wait till too late. Honestly, this round caught me off guard. The fact that we see Westside put the ult through in what is not really like objectively a winnable position for the most part, but they've already gotten rid of the shield on Levin. They have a double TP coming through, and that then applies a little bit of pressure onto the remaining guy inside Hookah, because one of you gets pulled away. Now there's one guy fighting two. It's a much different battle, and they actually managed to keep that player alive in the late round and then end up winning.
Are they going to ult? They're going to ult off the back of this? I assume that is the plan. Yep, there you go. Levin, success rate wasn't particularly high. He needs to win this one, and he has not again. It's Grabinho to take him down. In the meantime, the rest of the team has taken quite a bit of space, though, as Grabinho traded out after coming back from the ult. So even though the shots were not connected, it did give them that additional space. Cloud also under pressure, but Aris there, he actually hit that through the smoke, I believe. That's a player tagged fairly low, and the pit has gone in the meantime.
Oh, Yumpy's making a play. He's been caught in the corner. Ara stuck here with a Sheriff in hand. A shot to the body will take down Yumpy. The Profek can at least tank one. They don't know where that final player is, though, and now they're trying to find out. Flickless expected to be on short on the flank, maybe up in heaven, but that's now cleared by the Nightfall. They've used a lot of utility, but they can put the pieces together now. They know that Flickless should be in the spawn. They know that Ara is towards Bath, but they're stalling. 30 seconds on the clock. Afraid to make a mistake, but this may end up being their downfall. Time ticking as they finally go in for that plant, and this is Ara's moment to walk up.
Profek, it's going to be that first point of contact. Waiting patiently and clean with the Sheriff. Yumpy as well will win his fight. And from a contentious start of the round and a fair few committed ults that, I'll be honest with you, didn't have much impact other than information. They are going to get that one over the line. Set them up 3 for 3.
Enemy down.
And actually put quite a bit of pressure on the economy of GX. But similarly to their last low buy, they do have a few ultimates that might be able to pad the gap.
Well, BBL getting loud. GX left in a very weak position, but well, they managed to win this and just the previous. So let's not hold our breath for the fourth on BBL. Deep push, deep tag, Levin down and out of the round already. Another opening duel lost. The ISO, man, his ults. What, in the last game he lost to 2 Classics and a Spectre? This time, loses his opening, gets shut down in a lot of these early fights. We need to see the confidence builder for him. And now there's a real chance for GX to convert this round with Profect, just one hit to anything.
That was why they invested into this Outlaw. Even if it doesn't kill, it will wound. And it will set up those remaining players. In they go. Rapinho with the Sheriff and Westside as well! What is that? I cannot believe what this man can do with a pistol.
That's a base save card thrifty, by the way. In case that wasn't already blatantly obvious, dear Lord.
Genuinely took my breath away.
It's taken me a minute to even form words in my mind there. That was insane. We talk about this guy, we've mentioned it many times, the Sheriff, how deadly it can be, but that is too much. That is far too much.
Oh, look at the damage.
I even thought in the previous, having a showstopper after that opening pick, after low HP on Profect, that's what's going to turn the tide. It's just this guy.
Yeah. even
off.
Let's be real, even the Outlaw was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, it tagged a couple of players, but I think every single one of them got headshot.
Yep.
So
this guy just comes marching in with a big iron on his hip.
They've still got all of the ultimates. They've destroyed their opponent's economy. Cloud is 1 or 2 away from having his ult as well. This is potentially the start of another GX streak. We've seen it in the last couple of maps. Ult going to be used, and that is a player cornered, being dragged in, and there's Cloud's ult. Said it was the only one that's not online anymore. The net has left Sociable stuck, just jumping in a corner, and well, it's an in-zone flawless. A thrifty into a flawless, and that'll put GX comfortably in the lead.
I feel like I'm watching BBL. In some of these rounds, they look good. They're dancing, but the floor is made of glass, and we are far too high up in the sky for comfort. It feels like any moment in each of these maps, well, not the first actually, the glass broke instantly, but in map 2, and then same here as we go back and forth early, 2-2, 3-3, it feels like at some point that glass will shatter and we will see them plummet. Holding my breath for the disaster that's soon to come, and it has already happened. Westside shut down though. Sociable managing to deal with him early. Ara going deep, and he won't find anything. That was a shielded Levin as well that he ends up fighting. This is a great start for BBL. Perhaps they've managed to cling on for dear life. The plummet below them not yet gonna swallow as Grubinho is tagged up, Cloud on the way, but they need huge individual performances to stand a chance, and there's none to be seen. BBL back with a fighting spirit.
More similarly to Ascent, it felt like GX in this round wanted to put the nail in the coffin, a very aggressive stance. I feel like that's played into BBL's hands. What they've done fantastically well so far is the delay and the slows that have sort of made it so those executes look a bit more panicky. You give those fights early, and BBL is still going to hit their shots.
A mistake that I'm sure they'll learn from.
Yeah. The thing is, after a round like that, you can kind of understand why. Like, you've had a couple of rounds where you win one with pistols, you then have that sort of dominant start in the next round where it's a flawless. I could completely understand them going, okay, let's throw in a showstopper and we might just boom them out of the game.
And that's the logic behind Westside pushing in through Hookah as well. Obviously, he's getting aggressive to force them back. If they go back, they run into the showstopper. Round's already done. It doesn't work out as the flash is broken. An immediate correction from Sociable. And Levin swinging in with no fear thanks to that shield. And I think that's really the turning point of the round. It's already in recovery mode from that. A good idea, but BBL respond correctly. And now just one round behind. This is definitely the best start that we've seen from them, where Sunset, again, felt like it was GX's, and BBL came back into it. It was 2 rounds in the first half of map 1, 3 rounds in the first half of map 2, and let's see if they can make it off the 4th here, or if the pattern is going to complete itself.
Even with one more round onto the board in the last 2 performances for GX, this would be the best defensive half they've had. They were 0-6 versus Foot, 3-9 versus Na'Vi. Already the wall's going to be broken. Looking like they want to try and play around the gap in the pit. Also an orbital strike. The Westside, that is a twofer! They walk in and immediate execution, a man advantage gained. And they still need to find and get rid of Flickless.
Telling you, man, GX's scouting department, they deserve a really big raise. Even if they're already overpaid. Cloud up close, that's a free kill on the Magnum. No chance. Fighting inside that pit. Profek caught between the molly and the pit itself, and it looks like it's just going to be a dominant round from GX. 6-4 on the board now. Great. And 2 rounds to fight for in this half. It's still possible for us to be neck and neck going into the next, but these individuals showing up every time they're needed. And Westside, honestly, in this series, and especially in this map, he's 16-6. He's looking untouchable.
Yeah.
Nice, good job. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, he's been so comfortable. I feel like he's never really been pressured, and while we've seen plenty of pauses called throughout this series from BBL, as I said, the one we saw, was it a 2-2? It's the first that GX have felt the need to call, which kind of shows how dominant they've been. But for BBL, this is another to add to the tally. And again, it's one at a crucial time. Like, we've seen them have fairly balanced halves across this map. I don't think it's, again, a sealed deal. But with the compositional changes we also saw versus Liquid, it was the attack where they had more success, and you can understand why. You're throwing in a Yoru alongside an ISO. You should be having more attack side rounds. Well, your Yoru is 4-10, and your ISO is 3-8. Those are the two players that we talk about needing to have those performances, and for Levin, it is the same story. 9-31 coming into this map, 3-8 in this map. I don't think it's even a question. I don't even think I need the stats. I think this is the worst series he's ever had, and at the worst possible moment for BBL.
Yeah, of all the times, man. The heights that he's reached. I'm looking at yesterday. Feels like the spark's gone out. Still a 2-round gap. And if he can't find his form, this could be a completely different game. Sociable punished on the walk through the smoke. The player further back baiting as Gorbinho's up close. Flash goes through. The smoke up, the stun in, the orbital strike to buy space. Okay, that should at least get them a plan, but they're fighting backside, and that's into Ara's hands as he finds himself a double, but the whiff comes in. There's Levin, landing himself too, pulling a player into ult, or at least attempting to, but he dies too quickly. Gorbinho and Flickless, that's the rifle spotted. When Profek steps out, he's going to be more than ready for the duel, and now the eye of Levin drawn to the site as Flickless completes his flank. 7-4 for GX, and that's another point, Tom. You saw our backside defense, he does well, but it's been he's 6-5. He's doing his job, but in this series, we talked about him finding new form, being incredible, being dominant against BBL, and now there's another hero stepping up to the plate, and we know if Westside steps down, if Flickless backs off and slows down, there's going to be people to fill those slots real quick.
I'll be honest with you, if you're waiting for Westside to slow down, I think you're waiting for something that's never going to come.
Wait a while.
The guy has been phenomenal. Flickless, who we said, his playoffs form has been superb.
Next?
It seems like the pieces have all come together for GX, and they find themselves a matter of rounds away from champions. Sociable will at least start things off, but it really has just been hero plays. Levin actually gives them an advantage, though. Something we haven't seen in the last couple. Gorbinho waiting, almost caught. Just about escaped. Nightfall thrown through. That at least lets them know the site is clear, and Magnum has a tasty little flank. They're not going to expect anybody to be this close, and that should be a freebie. A 7-5 looking likely, but you never know with Flickless and Groovy still standing.
Well, Groovy's barely standing. He's limping into this retake, and the steps heard as Flickless approaches. Yumpy's already in the corner. He's going to have to be thorough to clear that corner, and Yumpy gets him. Now 24 HP. It looks like BBL have done one better. Instead of 2, 3, and 4 in their first halves of the maps, it will be a 5th secured, unless Gorbinho has a play of the year almost. 11-1 to close that out, and 2 rounds behind going into the next half. It's certainly better than what we've seen in the previous ones.
Yeah, for sure. But on the other side of things, GX, they are 6 rounds away from locking in champions. This might all be done. There's still a break to come.
One enemy.
Let's go! Come on! Let's go! Come on, boys!
Red Bull gives you wings.
Seven to 5, GX 1 map away from locking in champions, and this could be where they do it. A pistol round to give them a bigger lead, but for BBL, this could be their way back to equal footing. The pistol carries a lot of weight, and for BBL, they've been fantastic throughout this year at them, but that has certainly changed here in playoffs.
Well, it's dipped in playoffs, and I can tell you it's dipped even further in this match. I think they have won 1 of the lot so far, so GX could almost decide their fate. They are 6 rounds away from being locked into champions. A team full of rookies, with only Cloud, still a youngster in his own right, as someone who's been there before. The rest of them have the chance to make it for the first time, and a good chance at that. Ara, Cloud already
Launching smoke.
adding 2 players to the body count, and Profex under serious pressure.
Numpy's going to try to fight with, but he is shut down as well. GX finding full form this late in the playoffs, and much to the chagrin of BBL, this is it, done. It's just Magnum, an ace needed, a 1 versus 5. He can't even really get out of the spawn before he's put to bed. An in-zone flawless to start out the second half. Giant X will go further into the lead and closer to champions.
They have taken so many swing rounds, but this one looked incredibly dominant. I think if you're talking about series with the most in-zone flawless, they might be breaking some sort of record. It definitely helps that it's a best of 5, but at the moment it may end up only being 3 maps. 8 to 5. 5 steps from their road to champions. A team, as said, that had no chance of doing it on points. It was all about making it to the grand final, which with Heretics, with Fnatic, with Liquid. Don't think anybody thought that would happen. No. Maybe even, I don't even think the GX admins would have thought that could happen. But they have taken every step, got themselves on a path that now looks to be paved in gold. And all that stands in their way is BBL turning a disadvantage in this map and then winning 2 more maps after it. If you've been watching this series from the start, you'd know that believing in that at this point is impossible.
For Giant X, it's got to feel good. We know that so many have doubted them coming into this year, myself included, and no doubt that doesn't go unnoticed on the side of the team, the players. As you look at predictions, you look at the conversations in the community, I'll even watch the desk back, and starting out the year, there was not much favor for them.
And there shouldn't have been, just to clarify as well.
There shouldn't have been, and I think the results at the start of the year kind of proved that.
Yep.
They've taken a while to find their form, but as we've said, heating up at just the right moment. A 9-5 lead, a huge advantage to play with. And when it comes to rifle rounds, they have looked like the better squad in this series. This one will be a bonus. There will be weaknesses, but there will be no reason to count GX out, for BBL to take their foot off the gas. This is a must win with many more to follow.
Well, that's the thing. I think we came into this series saying that GX had to still prove that they were worthy of one of those 4 slots. I think now we sit here saying BBL need to prove they're worthy of a map. They have been dismantled from start to finish. They'll get the first kill in this round, but again, those fundamentals, the trades, have been sublime.
Poison's off.
The plant's going to be secured at least, but the numbers disadvantage combined with the weapons disadvantage, that could play against them. 2 players light. That outlaw, Ara looking the wrong way. Still, Tanks Yumpy down to 17. He's got the regen shields, and he'll wait those out, but Ara makes a move into the smoke. Levin to shut him down through. Cloud now with the K, looking very good up against these players. A single shot from the outlaw will claim a life. Already, you're going to see that denial of the defuse. Now Thrash on its way. They have to deal with that, and with a player primed and ready to swing from Bath, the time now becomes a big enemy. The final threads fraying from the loom for BBL as they are torn asunder. Double digits for GX, a bonus round 1. And they are silencing every doubt, 1 play at a time.
That Grabinho in these late round scenarios, I can tell you for free, everyone at BBL is going to be having nightmares about this man. He's catching up to Westside, by the way. After some of the incredible stuff he did in the first half, and he's not particularly slowed down. Grabinho now looks to meet him at the top of the table. For GX, this was a squad that, okay, 2023, they made it to champs. We talk about it. They won LCQ. They looked decent. Last year, out of 11 teams, they finished 9th. They were not even remotely close to where they sit today. At the beginning of the year, you wouldn't have talked about this team being in contention whatsoever. But they took risks. They brought in Flickless, Ara. They took Grabinho from an opposing side who, by the way, was also at the very bottom of the table, just looking to try and grab themselves a singular win as a triumph. They took one of their players, added them to Cloud on Westside, and have made a team that are now 3 rounds away from making it to champions, joining squads like Liquid, Fnatic, and Heretics. They will join them if they can just get through these last few rounds. And I'll be honest with you, BBL are yet to show a reason why not to believe.
Where are you?
We talked about the start of the year.
Bring them down.
For GX, Cloud and Westside, remember how it started. They played 3 games in kickoff, their opening against BBL, and they lost that 2-1. Kickoff was a short tournament for GX, but now they're back for vengeance. They've taken their time. They've turned their wounds into weapons. They've made changes, and now this arsenal is unleashed on BBL. The biggest day in this organization's history within Valorant. A team with a story of almost in playoffs, and now almost in champions. But that may be where this story ends. A light by here. 11-5 as it should be, and Ara's making sure it will be. Their backs are against the wall.
That was the same on their route to Toronto. BBL seemed to get all the way and then trip just as they're about to board that plane. And well, I think it's safe to say that it's been Westside that has been putting those trips down. He has stopped them at every single opportunity in this match. At 11-5 up, GX are cruising their way towards Champions, towards Paris, and towards their chance at glory with a grand final. And we saw how close they were when they played Liquid last time. There is no question that, sure, they'll go in once again
Keep it up, guys.
as underdogs. But hey, let's be real. They played Na'Vi. I think most people had Na'Vi. They played Fnatic. I think most people have Fnatic. They played Liquid, and it was damn close. And now they play BBL, and, well, you look at our predictions, other than Bayer. And everything pointed towards a BBL victory, but GX have proved us wrong every single day in the lower bracket.
And it's hard not to favor BBL because, yes, GX were close, but BBL, they were bloody close. One round away from securing it. Even Nats, when asked who he wanted to face in that grand final, he said BBL again without hesitation. But it doesn't look like he'll be getting his wish this rifle round. This is a year in the making for BBL. Tournament after tournament to prepare for this, and this rifle round that could define it all, with Magnum already falling.
He has to win this one.
From Levin. He's been bad in them. They haven't worked out, but finally he'll connect. A lifeline for BBL.
A good position from Sociable as well. Still though, he's forced back into Ara. Every action has a reaction, and the reactions from GX have just been better. Their calls have been better. Their synergy has been better. Even the heroes that sit on the stage right now today, they have been better. Levin looking for a fight, but he's tagged low. Yumpy sat alongside him. They are waiting on the GX side for someone to try and make a play. Ara, with confidence up front, will be the first point of contact, and he will be the last. 3 kills for him, 12-5 for GX. 7 rounds in a row if they are to be denied their spot at Champions. One that they have fought for through that lower bracket. A one that they deserve.
One enemy remaining.
This team failed so many times starting out this year. It looked like their story was already written, but they made every change necessary. Not just in the roster, but in their play. And now look at them. Carried the weight of their failures and turned it into fuel, and that fuel has brought them deep along the road to Paris. One more stop, and they'll be locking it in. BBL 7 in a row. It seems impossible.
That's been the story of this grand final. They went into their map choice, they got battered. They showed some glimpses on their opponents, but ultimately a 13-8, and now they sit on their second of choices. And they have been second best. GX sit with so many opportunities to close this one out. The pressure being put onto Levin, the flash has been shot, and the crossfire looking decent. They could get their first round of the second half, and Yumpy's looking to seal it. Unless Grabinho can pull off another big play.
No, he has been great.
He's been unreal.
Spike dropped down in the open, and a firing squad holding it though. Yumpy and Sociable ready to lock in that win for BBL. A 6th on the board, a first of the half, but so much more needed. They have to double their current scoreline without a single misstep, one mistake, one opportunity given to GX, and the dream, a year in the making, will be over.
Come on, boys, this is it.
6 more to go. Big ult advantage.
Oh, looking at some positives. At least for this round, they do have an ult advantage. I don't know how long that's going to last with how many opportunities there are. Already a lot of control being taken. An orb that can go in the other direction, and will. It doesn't bring Ara particularly close. It's the Viper's Pit that makes me nervous. Flickless has that online. So if a site take comes through for GX, they can give themselves a great post plant.
Magnum needs to hold strong here. This side of the site crumbles. The rest may soon follow. Nightfall used, but Ara's bringing the nightmare to reality. Flickless on another, and it looks like GX have done it. A 5 versus 1. A team that everybody doubted starting this year's. Well, they have taken the scars of yesterday and turned them into the strengths of today. Profek, the last man standing. And it's a formality, a pit to fight through, and the army of GX wins out today. 13-6, 3-0. GX, for the first time since 2023, are going to Champions.
Fnatic couldn't stop this team's lower bracket run. Na'Vi couldn't stop this team's lower bracket run. And BBL will not stop this team's lower bracket run. It is GX that make that route to Champions. The rookies they brought in, the dejected that they picked up from another roster. And now they get to fight in a grand final for a trophy as well. It has been the run of dreams for Giant X. And it could be a run that's only just beginning. A chance to fight on the biggest stage in Valorant. And as said, a chance to even lift a trophy before they do it.
Well, what they've shown here today leaves no doubt in my mind. This is a contender that will bring the heat to the international stage. They have gotten better and better, like fine wine, as this stage went on, as this year went on. But it's a sad story on the other side of the stage. A team that was just one round away from locking in Champions yesterday. And now their year is over. Some big games, big performances. They can be proud of the legacy they have left. That upper bracket shaken up. Some of the best of EMEA's past sent out because of this squad. But this is where their story ends for this year.
And on the other side of things, well, for many, this will be job done. But I'm sure for the guys down on that stage, a welcome to Champions Paris. And another story for Giant X is just beginning. They will be the 4th team that gets to face off against the best of the world. And honestly, if they keep up the streak that they have, taking down some of the biggest names in EMEA, who knows where they can go from here. First things first though, Mitch. They might be off to Paris, but they've got one more match to play. That trophy is all to play for tomorrow. And I'm telling you now, there is nobody hungrier than GX.
No, not a soul in the building. They want to fill out that trophy cabinet after being underestimated again and again, even in the predictions today. This is their chance to forge their own legacy, and then what a legacy it would be. We have seen individuals stepping up, but more than that, anyone can have good aim. But this squad came in, they played so well together. Yeah. They looked difficult to defeat. Many a time, we would look throughout history in the EMEA and say, you lost to GX, you lost to yourself. You made mistakes, you gave them chances here. They created their own opportunities. What a sensational performance this was. I believe we have an interview standing by. There they are, Grabinho and Ara. Take it away, Sue.
First of all, this West Side chant in the audience is incredible. So, did you guys hear this? There's a West Side chant going on. I might as got to just get straight into it. Did you ever think that you were going to be on this stage and it's going to turn into this color? It's going to confirm that you guys are going to be going to champs? I'll start with you, Ara, because you've only been on this stage 11 times.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really believe it. Like, I'm going to be realistic. I didn't believe in my first season I'm going to go to Champions. But, like, life can be surprising, so I think I just take it, and I'm just going to be humble and just take this chance to prove myself.
You happy?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now.
I'm so happy for you, Ara. I'm so happy. Grubby, like, we got to stop meeting like this, because the first time I interviewed you, you know, you were saying how it was kind of nice because you win, you get interviewed. This is like 3 times in a space of 2 weeks. Are you used to it now, standing here?
I mean, after a few wins, I got used to it.
Yeah?
But I'm so happy I can be now here, because this interview I didn't have yet.
Yeah, this is the first, yeah. We'll do it in Paris as well. We'll have another one in Paris.
And it's actually like first time going for me to international. After the last split, I didn't expect it. And now see you in Paris.
I mean, Ara was talking about how happy he is. What are some of the emotions you're feeling right now?
I mean, for sure I'm happy and excited to go to champs. I'm excited to play against like different regions. Like, emotions are not still yet, because like we are after the game, but I think after some time in the apartment after this game, I'm gonna feel it more.
What are you cooking tomorrow? Are you going to make breakfast?
Tomorrow we need to have a feast.
A feast? Everyone's invited? All right, we're coming over for some breakfast tomorrow. The job is not done, because I'm sure now you've locked champs, you want to win the title, right, Ara? You want to win it in your rookie year?
Yeah, for sure. Just a lot to process for me right now. I don't have any words, so yeah.
I'll ask really simple questions. I'll let Grubby take care of this one first. Liquid, you faced them before, very recently. What do you think will be different this time around? What have you learned in this lower bracket run?
I mean, I think we like learn how to handle some stress situation better, like stress round. I think it's gonna be harder game for us against Liquid than last time, because also they played like already 2 games in playoffs, so they are also in this like playing games style and stuff like this, you know. So it's gonna be probably harder. But overall, yeah, like I think what we learned important is to handle the situations better.
The stress, the pressure, and so on. Now, Ara, you said to me before, you're kind of the vibes person on a GX. But as I think we've learned today from seeing your comms, from seeing how you've handled this best of 5, I think everybody has sort of a vibey moment. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. Especially Westside with his famous voice line, like, "Where are you guys? Where are you?" Especially Westside. But yeah, everyone has his own vibe. So yeah, everyone is just vibe, has his own vibe.
Yeah, what kind of vibe are you bringing? So, you know, we have like people that are like funny, or, you know, people that are serious, people that are always standing up and trash talking. What's your role right now?
I mean, I'm trying to stay supportive, but like sometimes, like when the game is good for me, I also support a lot of my teammates. Like I support them every round. I don't know if you could see in like player cam. But yeah, I'm more of a supportive guy, you know, so...
Like a hype man, you know?
Yeah, something like that.
Cheerleader.
Yeah, something like that.
Love that. What about you, Grubby? How do you fit into this?
He's hard to say. I think it's better for Ara to answer.
No, Grubby is silent. The silent guy, I think.
Oh.
He's not really saying... He's hyping us up, but he's still silent, I think, by himself.
So you talk when it's actually useful, you know? You're not just like over... adding too much energy.
Yeah, I don't think I over like coming the stuff.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very important. Do you think that's going to be enough against Team Liquid? Because it feels like for you guys, it's a real team effort right now. Everybody has their moments in terms of the support, the hype, the clutches, everything. Is that going to be enough tomorrow?
Team Liquid is good. They're in a good form, and we are also in a good form. The last game we played against them, I think we lost overtime. We were winning like 12-11. So I think it's going to be a good match. Both teams, I think, we're on the kind of same level right now in terms of form. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game.
And group, what's the biggest win condition, Grubby, for you guys? How do you win tomorrow?
How do we win tomorrow? I think playing like today. It's going to be the most important part, you know.
Disciplined, you know, get the fundamentals. You've both spoken about this sort of keeping humble. Why is that so important to you?
I mean, like, we didn't, like, okay, this is what we did now. We won the game, we did something big, we qualify. But compared to other teams, it's still nothing. Like, we didn't do something, like, huge, you know? So, like, why would be, like, how to say it, like, more cocky, I would say.
I like that.
There's no point, you know?
Yeah, I understand. So I'll ask you a nice question because you're going to Champs. You're going to be, for the first time in your career, playing against some players you've never played against before. Who are you bringing an extra jersey for? You're packing a jersey to do a jersey swap with another player at Champs. Who you got your eye on?
I think Aspas. It would be nice to play with him, against him, and swap jerseys. I really liked him back then when he was in Loud. So yeah, Aspas for me, I think.
I'll make it happen for you. Yeah, Groovy?
For me, I think I would like to swap my jersey with Bank from Sentinels.
Oh, Bank.
Oh, the role. Okay, I see that. I see that. I mean, you could even be in their groups. Who knows? So that's going to be very interesting. But for now, congratulations once again. Pipson is over there staring at you, looking like a proud father. Yes. But thank you so much, you two, for joining me. Thank you to everyone here for coming out. Shout out to the Westside chanters. Love that. And for now, we're going to leave you and prepare for a very important grand finals. Enjoy the Herman Miller Gaming end of day highlights, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All or nothing. The winner of this game goes to Champions. The loser is out.
Now they start to close the distance, but Sociable stands strong as Flickless just dominates the mid-fights. That is disgusting.
Let's go. Sit down, guys.
He had no right to bring it there.
GX coming into their opponent's map choice have just won 13-2. A statement victory to kick off this best of 5.
They need to bounce back here. A decimation on their own pick.
Nice, boys! In the Bobby
It's right, but the bullets, he's out of ammo. Grabinho shuts him down in the end. As Westside answers up with another, and Cloud steals the ace away.
Sorry.
On a return to form, a reawakening of GX. Sociable all that stands between them, and he will fall quickly at 13-8. GX 2-0, one map away from seeing that trophy in person. The question is, does it end here on Bind? Grabinho with the sheriff of Westside as well! What is... And it looks like it's just going to be a dominant round from GX. 6-4 on the board now. The final threads fraying from the loom for BBL as they are torn asunder. The biggest day in this organization's history within Valorant. A team with a story of almost pit to fight through, and the army of GX wins out today. 13-6, 3-0. GX, for the first time since 2023, are going to Champions.
come alive. Let's break some rules. No, we don't always have to be good. Don't always have to do things that we should. We'll feed the fire. Let's see it through and let go of what's holding us back. Just light it up and we'll burn through the past and take it higher. Is your heart rushing the way my heart's rushing when you take it all in? Baby, this is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. You and I. Can't believe it took so long to realize. This is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. Can't believe it took so long to realize what makes us, makes us, makes us. This is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. Can't believe it took so long to realize what makes us, makes us come alive. 나의 속도가 돈이라면 벤 소미 더 세게 괴롭혀봐 나를 rain